Welcome everybody to the first day of the round of 16. I hope you like Terran versus Terran because today's going to have a lot of it. You can see the players right there, Light, Barracks, Mong, and Shine. But of course, we've got interviews with our players first.
Okay, welcome back to this ASL Season 14 Round of 16. This is the Day 1 Group A, and she is MC Lee Hyun. And that's the group nomination we just have seen, made by Light. Light has been making all those plans that he wanted to have lots of Terran in his group and maybe one Zerg, some like a different race matchup. And he's very satisfied. He's completely satisfied with his group, how he wanted to make his group. And how did you prepare for this season 14 of round of 16? And like I said, he did practice a lot and he feels really great of today's game. And how do you also feel, Shine? You're the only one Zerg player in this round of 16 of this group, and it may feel somewhat different than how you were playing in round of 24. And how do you feel about tonight? And Shine says he says it wasn't that difficult because he only had to practice of Zerg versus Terran matchup. He does not have to really think about ZVZ or ZVP at all, so it's somewhat comfortable for him. So she's asking, she's pretty sure that Shine would have been analyzing lots of player of this group, Light, Barracks, and Mong. And Light is the type of player who likes to play super standard. Barracks is really aggressive. Mong, he plays something like something greedy play. First of all, has to put down the CC, like 3rd CC or 4th CC. He likes to be rich whenever he plays against Zerg. So she's asking about the past ASL. And you were in a group of lots of Terran in round of 16 that time. And do you remember that game? Do you remember that season? And Light doesn't remember. But Light is answering about this season 14 of this ASL map pool. The map pool is somewhat difficult, but as long as he just has to be playing of this TVT matchup, then it's gonna be based on the skill mechanic, overall mechanic, instead of strategy wise. So he feels somewhat okay with it. And Barracks seems... Okay, Barracks is answering about his opinion. He thinks it's going to be his like one moment where he can make it into round of 8 if he makes it through. He really wants to make it into round of 8. And she's asking to Mong that from previous season, he was the one of the player who was playing a somewhat tough game in round of 24 multiple times in season 12 and season 13. I remember she remembers a very long game against Soki, so it was pretty tough for him. And how do you feel about this season? And Mong is saying about his round of 16 group. He thinks somewhat doable to play against Light. He's very confident with his TVT. He seems like he does not want to play some of the players who play somewhat different than standard. There are certain points for you, Mong, that you might have to overcome past your limit to make it into round of 8. And how did you prepare of this ASL season 14 round of 16? And Mong is saying he feels very confident, but at the same time he needs to remember of his past history that he got knocked out by Shine in the previous season about like 3 or 4 years ago, where he got Nidus Tunnel Rush, the Proxy hatchery, and he really wants to revenge against him. And Shine. There are some of the questions for you. Or I guess the question for everyone. So from the group nomination, Barracks, you said about a month or 2 months ago you got some coaching session by Light. And how are you going to prepare of this season or get playing against Barracks, Light for you, Barracks? And Barracks is saying he didn't really think of any plan, but he really wants to face off with his pure mechanic against him.
황교안 선수에게 여러 가르침을 주면서 날 이길 수도 있겠네라는 좀 위협감 느낀 적 있으실까요?
Light, since you have been giving him a coaching session, do you think there's a possibility that he might take you down in this game number 1 of this best of 1 series? And Light is saying he didn't coach him at all of this TBT matchup, so there's nothing else he had taught for him. He has taught for him, so he's not sure what Barracks is completely saying of that comment. So okay, so this is something what I just said about a minute or 2 minutes ago, where we talked about the Nidus Canal Rush 4 or 5 years ago. And you are going to play against Mong again of this ASL Season 14. Is there any the bag of builds that you're going to be showing today? So he does have some strategies, but he kinda doesn't want to get revenge by Mong, so he wants to show he's much better than Mong. He's going to destroy Mong of this best of 1 series in the game number 2. So the question for everyone, who's going to be the second player getting out of this group, make it into round of 8? And Mong is saying he feels okay of today's game, but about 50% chance that he might be making it into round of 8. It looks like lots of players have some confidence, but we would like to hear your last word before we go into the game. Barracks? And Barracks is saying he has prepared a lot of TVT and TVZ. He wants to show some great performance of today's game. Mong? He also has practiced a lot. So he thinks lots of players have been practicing and prepared of this round of 16, because excluding Light, it seems doable for everyone to make it into round of 8. So he needs to be taking it seriously. Shine is going to play seriously. He would like to show great performance. Light, and Light said pretty much the same thing. He wants to make it into round of 8. He will be playing his best. And thank you for the interview. And that was the Ask ASL event. And if you guys would like to participate in the Ask ASL event, then you have to go to the ASL mainstream platform. Leave a comment there.
Thank you, Scan, for the translation. I'm excited for the Mong Shine game, because that Andromeda game, the Proxy Nidus game that he's talking about, I feel like that was at least 2 years old. So if he's still thinking about that game 2 years later, he must really want to win badly. And that reminded me, wasn't there a game on Circuit Breakers between Shine and Mong where Shine went for the fake drop? Do you remember that game?
Circuit Breaker? I don't remember. What season was it?
Maybe it was not an ASL game, but there was definitely a fake drop, top left versus bottom right. Some Terran was bottom right. Like 7 Overlords went into the main, there was nothing in it, and then there was a lurker bust at the front. I remember that game very fondly, but I'm pretty sure that was Mong versus Shine, so a lot of history there apparently.
Yeah, pretty much there's lots of history going on of these two players, Mong and Shine, but we are going to be taking a look at this round of 16 group. So today's game is going to be Light versus Barracks and Mong versus Shine, and we are also going to be having the best of 3 of the winners, losers, and the final match. And we also got some other matchup on the other days. But we are going to be taking a look at this lots of TVT today's game.
Yeah, tons of TVT, Light versus Barracks first and Mong versus Shine. What do you think about these groups, man? Like, when I saw later on how Group B was, I was like, holy smokes, like look at this group, Bisu, Sock, Rush, and Best. I mean, this is a stat group. And what's funny about that is Group C and D, I feel like, are even harder. Like, it's just crazy how stacked these groups are.
Well, we have seen Snow getting eliminated in the previous season by Gamo in a round of 24, and we saw how weak Snow's PVZ was, but I would like to see how well he has been overcome with his PVZ matchup. And I've been seeing like he has been using some Reaver playstyle against Zerg, and it's just so disgusting. I mean, normally you use the High Templar or maybe Speed Shuttle and keep doing the Storm Drop top of the drone line, the mineral line, but this guy Snow, he uses Reaver not in PvT, he also uses in PvZ. So I would like to see for the next week.
Yeah, that's going to be next Tuesday, Group C. So definitely tune in there if you want to see potentially some revolutionary Protoss versus Zerg. As you can see here, we've got some stats with the players.
Yeah, so this is something that Light was able to make his own plan of his Group A because he has the power of switching the player at the end of the group nomination. But anyways, we're gonna be taking a look at this Light's record. That's somewhat surprising to know that his TVT is the weakest matchup in the ASL total record, 47.6%.
Yeah, you know, I was thinking about this group earlier because didn't Royal beat Light like 2 seasons ago? Terran versus Terran? And from kind of some of the comments in Team Liquid about the group selection, it sounded like Light really wanted to pick Sock or Mong. I can't remember exactly. But yeah, if your worst matchup is Terran versus Terran, I mean, he still has a high win rate versus it. Why would you want an all-Terran group? I'm not too sure about these picks from Light. And he's going to be facing off versus Barracks first, who's a really good Terran player. He had that epic game, I think, Barracks versus Sock last season on Eclipse, if I remember correctly. There was a really epic one, like split map, 40-minute game. So this could be a close series, actually.
Yeah, so looks like this is going to be his challenge because Light has given him some lesson about PvZ and PvP, but not in TVT. But I would like to see how well he's going to be fighting back. He said on a pre-interview that he's going to be playing somewhat standard, not not going to be using some like a strategy wise of taking down Light. He wants to challenge himself whether he can face up the ASL champ.
Well, that will definitely be a challenge, and it seems like our players are ready. So we're about to get into game 1 of the round of 16. Going to be Vermeer, Light versus Barracks.
Yeah, sipping some water. Sipping some water, and it looks like players are slowly getting ready because Barracks was not wearing the headset yet. Okay, now he has on.
Oh, you know what I noticed, Scan? No jacket for either one. What's that mean?
Well, I guess whoever plays much better, he will be winning the game.
Okay, in the top right, our champion, it is Light. And in the bottom right, our blue Terran, it is Barracks. Now, I don't know if I believe Barracks' statement about just wanting to win with pure mechanics, because if we think about almost all the games we've seen of Barracks, which have been generally Terran versus Zerg, he's been going for interesting builds, like the delayed gas Goliath play versus Zerg, but he's died every single time. But those are builds that you don't see. So I'm sure he definitely has something planned, and you can see Sharp is here in the crowd supporting NSU.
And that is Sharp. And it looks like some other guy, Light's fan, has come. And we are going to be taking a look at these two players' record. That Light got eliminated in round of 16 in season 11, round of 8 in season 12. But season 13, Light won the ASL title. And we're also taking a look at this ASL match history from previous season, Season 9, Round of 16, Group A. Light won against Barracks. And I think that was the season where we have seen the map escalate, I believe.
So, don't have a lot of history between these two players, at least on big stage. Now, always the question for me is, will anybody go for gasless or 14cc? Barracks already queued up an additional SCV, so we could see something like that. And he's not sending an SCV out in his main to build a rack, so this could be 14cc. So, as I stated, you knew that this was not just going to be a pure mechanic game. This was definitely going to be something planned, and he's planned for big macro. This is going to be 14cc.
So greedy play from Barracks, and I really like it because I mean, he's a type of player who likes to play super aggressive in early stage of the game. So why not just play greedy in the early stage of the game, and then maybe potentially in the mid game of the stage, maybe he has the chance of producing lots of army and maybe slowly crush Light's the siege tank line.
Well, we'll see what he comes up with. Now, as a Terran player, I'm interested in this scout because, you know, from what I've seen online, a lot of people scout on 14. I've even seen Royal scout on 16. But this was something like a 12 or 13 scout. Now, he gets in here and he sees that this is already a 14cc. He does not put back onto gas, so he is going to not all in this. He will take a command center himself. What do you think the response from Light should be here?
Well, Light, we can see him not getting the Vespin gas after the factory, so I guess he's just planning to get some more resource, maybe put down 20cc somewhere around there, and then maybe he has some economic catching up and slowly catch up how he wanted to solve it. But since he's not getting the machine Vespin gas, he won't be able to get the machine shop, so most likely with the first vulture, I'm going to be assuming he's going to cut off the scouting SCV as much as possible, and maybe after that he might able to go for the starport follow after the expansion.
Okay, well, we know Light definitely can go for starport play. Barracks doesn't necessarily... Oh, well, hold that thought. SCV almost gets picked off by Light, but barely. He does save it. Mierin is going to die. SCV's trying to find that hurt at the SCV, but he's not going to find it. But I was going to say, Barracks doesn't really strike me as a Wraith player. I think that he's probably going to go into 3-fact or 4-fact even.
The vulture.
Oh, the vulture.
Okay, that's somewhat unlucky for Barracks that he's not going to be able to defend. It's one hit away of getting the vulture, but really able to surround. So far it's 4 kill. This is going to be a lot of damage has been taken for Barracks, and now the SCV. Okay, the Mierin will be cutting it.
Wow, I can't believe that vulture ended up doing so much damage. That's a heartbreaker for Barracks, because when that happens, you realize that you just let your massive lead just slip away to a single unit. And also it's surviving with 2 health makes it even more painful. We've got 5 on gas for Barracks. He really needs to fix that, because that's 2 SCVs that are not mining efficiently. He actually is building gas that is natural already, so maybe Barracks will go into starport play. We see only 1 factory, and I think that is the starport at the bottom of his base.
Yeah, the starport is going up, but this is somewhat not common to see having 5 SCV inside of the refinery. And now he noticed that I have too many SCVs inside of the refinery, so he'll be taking it out and building a couple more of a supply depot at the main base. But now the siege tank will be poking some of the bunker and gonna be forcing Barracks to repair that bunker. But I have a feeling that once Barracks realize that this is the tank with the Goliath follow after this pressure, then I don't think he's going to be investing that much of a Wraith production here. Maybe he will be using 1 or 2 Wraiths to push that Light's Barracks away to have that the vision control.
Yeah, I'm very worried for Barracks here because he doesn't have a lot of production. But he's doing a good job to knock down that tank with a single tank. but he's about to get contained by double add-on factories with Goliath, and the Rax is still floating for Light, so he's going to have vision also, and Light doesn't necessarily need to bust the natural. All he has to do is make sure that this guy can't get out, which he will, since he has twice as much tank production. So already, Light's in a fantastic position.
There's one thing that I'm worried about Barracks is that he was getting the supply block for about 20 to 30 seconds long, so he really needs to spend his resource to get more of a siege tank and push those siege tank away, and also somehow he needs to kill that Barracks.
Yeah, he is shooting the Barracks also, by the way, with those 3 Marines, and losing that Rax would actually be a big mistake for Light. He definitely needs vision to keep this contained, because if he loses vision, Barracks can siege and unsiege. Oh, is he going to try and bust this? This feels like a mistake. 3 tanks siege up, 1 tank dies for both sides. The Wraith can't die though. The Rax needs to get knocked down. He ends up saving the Rax. And actually he knocks down 2 of Barracks' tanks. There's only 1 tank alive. If he saves that Rax, that's huge.
Well, now Light is slowly pushing forward, and we can see him. He saves that Barracks. That means Light's is going to be his chance of taking down Barracks as a Barracks. So he's just going to be getting contained. He does not have much of a Marine inside of the bunker. He's building additional factory, but what can he really do?
Yeah, that was like the game deciding move right there. The fact that the Rax didn't die and he lost 2 out of 3 tanks, I don't see what Barracks can do now to recover. It's 4 fact versus 4 fact, but look at the tank difference already. It's 3 versus 2 or 3 on the high ground. Barracks is going into dropships, which are okay, but how's he really going to get much damage done with this? Tank siege up, gonna knock down that bunker, and behind this, Light can continue to set up a massive contain. He can also continue to just expand behind it, and there's really nothing Barracks can do about it. Surprisingly, look at supply. It's 80 to 70 for Barracks, but I think mostly that's because this 4 vulture drop is coming across the map.
Yeah, we can see him. Light is making.
Look at that.
That's not Light's SCV. That's Barracks' SCV building the eBay at the natural and having the wall there. So. But at the same time, we are seeing Light has the reinforcement 3 vultures just came out, and these Barracks' 3 vultures is going to be picking up some SCV. He's getting some intel that there is a starport follow-up. That means there is a counter Wraith play, what we can expect.
Yeah, actually, I didn't realize that he sees both starports. That's not just one, so it is going to be Wraith play, and I think that can be a good move. It also can backfire, because think about it, every Wraith you build, well, Vulture gets intercepted. He does not save the dropship. The Vultures do get out and will be able to lay some mines, but every Wraith is a tank, so this contain is not going to be as strong as it could have been. More, okay, well, Light's going to clean up these Vultures easily.
Yeah, this is the classic move from Light we are seeing. I mean, once you are able to contain opponents natural, then you are supposed to be immediately switching over to double starport and have the air control, and that's what he's purposely doing it. And but at the same time, Barracks, he does not have the ground control, and at the same time no air control. So this means that Barracks really needs to figure out how he really wants to solve the problem. I mean, this contain, there's about 5 to 6 siege tank containing at the natural. He needs to find a solution.
Well, I would actually like to see Barracks try and pull these vultures away, and then while the vultures are pulled, like SCV pull and try and bust out of this contain, because he's going to have so many SCVs, he can afford to lose them. But if he lets the tank count get higher and higher, he's never getting out. So I think that's what he needs to try and do. Like right now he could go. There's not a lot of vultures there. But as I say that, of course, Light pulls them to the net. And here we go. There is the SCV pull that I was talking about.
Oh.
That's the perfect response from Light. He gets the vultures back in the nick of time. But Barracks killed a lot of tanks. Can any mines connect? Oh my god, that was a huge hit from Light, knocking down 3 tanks in an instant. But you can see Barracks, he does get out, sort of. He's got multiple tanks on the high ground too, so actually he's gonna able to knock all these tanks down.
Yeah, these tanks are doing some work, and at the same time, when Light was trying to put some spider mines around Barracks' siege tank, but there were 2 siege tank at the high ground supporting those, doing the backfire and supporting those siege tank to protect. And now we can see Light has the counter raise, but he can't really do anything about it because there are a couple of Goliaths that Barracks has made.
Yeah, well, see, now he's got all these rays, but Goliath just eat rays. And I like Barracks' unit comp just flat out better right now. I think Light is still in an okay position, but look, it's a 20 supply lead. Not that rays are dead weight, but a single Goliath is gonna do so much damage to these rays. Yeah, look at this. What's it? 2 Goliaths push back 6 rays to get almost no damage done. There's no cloak, so he can't even come in here and try and snipe SCVs and run away. And now it looks like we're probably going to go into a stabilized mid game. Third base going up for Light. No third base for Barracks just yet.
I'm surprised how well Barracks managed to break the contain really well there, and he's making a couple of a dropship to do some damage, but the SCV got some kill there, but that wasn't that effective. But Barracks really needs to put down some additional command center to keep up, because we can see Light is securing that third base and having the siege tank line at the 3 o'clock.
Well, I wonder what the upgrades are. Okay, we've got 0-0 for both sides. I say that because a lot of Terran versus Terran games, we see the science facility already done. We see, +2 already coming, but it doesn't look like either player is prioritizing upgrades right now. Good Wraith control there to knock down a single Goliath, but he still loses one of his Wraiths. Third command center just now starting for Barracks, so it's considerably farther behind than Light, as his third base is already up and running.
Yeah, those hidden 3 vultures getting spotted, but was not able to get that SCV. But we can see those counter harassment from Light with the 5 Wraiths, but I guess he's going to be backing up. But these 2 vulture drop at the natural. We'll be picking on 1 SCV, but that wasn't that effective.
Yeah, 1 SCV trade for both. Wraiths have come into the main and then went to the natural, but they really didn't rack up many kills at all, maybe just 1. And Light's going to expand again to top middle. He's closed the gap in supply. It's 140 to 130 now, so no longer a 20 to 25 supply gap. We see second armory coming in for Barracks, so his +1 should be kicking in momentarily. And meanwhile, he's looking like he's going to take bottom left as his 4th base, and he drew a lot of units out of position. This could be his moment to try and get the high ground. Light scrambling into position.
Yeah, Barracks, I guess he wanted to get that 1 single light at the 3 o'clock, but not sure what exactly he's planning to do. But we are seeing that 1 single SCV hiding at the 7 o'clock. Maybe he's planning to take that 4th base over there instead of taking the 6 o'clock expansion. Yeah, he's scanning the 6 o'clock before his vulture has arrived there. But yeah, there's a command center finally being built. I guess I did not see the SCV was there, but taking the double expansion for Barracks right now. But Light is just having the solid siege tank line at the center of the map and drawing towards to the bottom left.
Yeah, one difference I'm noticing here is even though both players are moving back and forth left to right, Light is the one with the farther move out. Like, he's the one in the center actually, and he's gonna have the better angle here. Here comes Barracks.
Oh my god!
My god! How did that mine connect? Kills multiple vultures. I don't know if it killed any tanks, but that was a huge hit.
Well, luckily for Barracks that he only lost the vulture for sure. I mean, if it was like a siege tank was getting exploded, but that would have been a different story. But one spider mine hit does not kill the siege tank, so I'm pretty sure that was the massive vulture just got picked off while the Collider was getting got triggered by the spider mine there. But just judging by how the supply count is somewhat even, I guess this is still doable for Barracks. But now Barracks does have the map control at the left side of the map, so this is somewhat safety for him to take that bottom left corner.
Ooh, triple dropship from Light. That could easily turn into 5 or 7 dropships in a second. Remember, he's got double starport, so easily he can pump out those dropships. And if Barracks is all the way out on the left side of the map, a doom drop could be game ending. supply's heavily in favor now for Light. It's up 25 for him. Now, I realize it's Terran versus Terran, where tanks and vultures and mines deal a lot of damage. But this is going to be a huge drop, and all of Barracks' units are completely out of position. I also like how the race are making sure that there are no units on the right side.
Yeah, we can see Barracks is now pulling all of his army. I guess he really wants to break the 3 o'clock, but I hear one spider mine was getting connected. Or maybe not. Okay, yeah, there's a counter dropship from Barracks.
Yeah, Light's actually going to drop bottom left. He does not want this to go split map. He's fine with the opposing Terra player having 4 or 5 bases, but he does not want to get into a game where he's facing, 7, 8 base. You're going to go into BCs. But meanwhile, Barracks, he's going to try and bust this. Well, there's a ton of tanks on the high ground, and Light's going to reposition here. I don't know if this is the trade Barracks wants. It's not like he has a +2 power spike. We'll see how well it goes for him. There's the drop at bottom left. That's going to be a dead base.
Yeah, that is definitely a dead base, as you mentioned. But, I mean, whenever you're playing PvT, whenever you're breaking one of the sides, then you have to invest, like, 2 times more of the army supply to break it, but he failed to break it at the same time. But he's losing the expansion and getting harassed by 5 dropships, so the supply count is plummeted.
Yeah, this is a massive supply lead for Light right now. This drop actually will get cleaned up. This was a bit of a over-eager move here, and he is going to reposition back to the left side to make sure that base cannot get retaken.
Yeah,
the command center is actually still alive.
Yeah, but at the same time, we are seeing Light is taking multiple bases at the same time. Maybe that one spider mine at the 11 o'clock, the 3rd expansion, is just denying it. But, I mean, this supply count is just not looking great for Barracks.
Yeah, and I think those are the drops in the center of the map. I was going to say, I think those are more race, but not the case. And now Barracks in a really rough position. Yes, he's got 4 bases, but what base does he take now? Look at Light. He just moves in and makes sure that there's no chance of Barracks getting mid-right. And now, really, Barracks has no other base to take unless he can somehow stabilize bottom left. But we know there's a lot of tanks there on the high ground.
Wow, those couple siege tanks at the 7 o'clock still buying some time. But we can see Barracks is just drawing like a group of siege tanks to protect there. And now Light is taking multiple bases. That's the 5th base and the 6th base at the 11 o'clock natural. And these random 5 dropships are here. Like maybe he's aiming to go for the main base drop. Maybe not.
That could have been the case, but yeah, it's not going to happen this time. And Barracks is actually getting a lot of work done here with this attack. He knocks down a lot of tanks. He's still down 50 supply. He did clean up that bottom left tank contained on the high ground because Light overextended the bottom middle. And okay, dropships do not get taken out, but actually, this could be a mistake from Light. He's going to unload a couple units, and he is going to try and move to bottom left again. But this time around, there's a vessel, so there could be D-Matrix to help support these units trying to bust this contain again.
Yeah, Light is just pretty much everywhere. He defended the 3 o'clock and also denying Barracks' 5th base here. Well, did he lose that 5th command center? I remember Barracks was putting down double command center and try to have that 5 base, but now I don't see him having 5 base.
Yeah, I feel like that command center floating at mid-left, bottom mid-left, could be a command center. Goliath's going to pick off one of the drop ships. I mean, that's a good pick off. And Light had a good trade at bottom left, even though he does lose a couple tanks. He picked off a lot of Barracks' tanks, but somehow Barracks is on 5 bases now. 190 versus 140. He can still, defend and trade effectively. Drop ships do not get taken out by these turrets, and Light is just relentless with this non-stop drop to bottom left, trying to prevent this base over and over and over. And also, because it's Vermeer, getting this high ground also prevents the 3rd base going up there.
Wow. These dropship play from Light, what I'm seeing, I mean, very, very good play. And these 4 dropships just constantly drawing the attention. And now it's just going to be ruining Barracks' army's the padding. And now these 4 Goliaths with the 4 siege tank buying some time at the same time. Light is breaking the front line.
Yeah, and this is exactly what you should do in Terran versus Terran is you draw all the attention away and then attack somewhere else, and that's exactly the case. And now what do you do
Jesus
as Barracks?
Christ.
This is just so many tanks, and he's right outside his base.
It's just way too many of us these things, and Barracks steps out.
Yeah, that was the killing blow there in light. He ends up taking the game, but Barracks had a fighting chance. There were moments there where I thought Barracks was in a good position, but that drop endlessly to bottom left really sealed the deal for light.
Yeah, lots of player. We call him like he plays like a textbook playstyle textbook of a Terran player, but Light is just very stylish from what I'm seeing of this TVT matchup. I mean, he used the counter raid against Barracks, and then all of a sudden he uses the dropship, drawing the attention left and right, and also attacking the frontal at the multiple direction, and it's just absolutely crazy, I would say.
Yeah, there's a reason people think Light is the best Terran these days. I mean, you can see it. He just executes so well. But like I said, I think Barracks played pretty well. I think a lesser Terran would have died there, whether it's to the race or to the initial drops. I mean, it was 5 drops in the beginning, and he ended up, pushing Light back for a while. Also did a good job of breaking out of his natural after that initial 5-tank contain. That's it for game 1, though. We'll be back with Mong versus Shine, so don't go anywhere. We are back. I think we're going to be going into our Ask ASL segment, and then we'll be going into the games.
Never mind. We're just going to be immediately moving into players' record here.
Yeah, so I talked about earlier Mong versus Shine on Circuit Breakers with the fake drop. So I went and Googled it during the break. It was Season 3 scan, so it's been over 10 seasons. But that was an epic game. It was a fake drop into the main of Circuit Breakers, drew all of Mong's position, all of his units out of position, and then a big lurker bust at the natural. And then, of course, Mong already talked about the Andromeda game where it was a proxy hatchery. So there's a ton of history and gimmicks that I'm sure Mong wants to overcome here versus Shine.
We are taking a look at both of the players' record. We saw Mong's TVZ was 25%, and we're also taking a look at Shine's record. It's almost 30% of his Zerg versus Terran matchup. So either of them have been showing a very, worst matchup in terms of an ASL record. But I would like to see how well they are going to be played of this ASL Season 14.
Yeah, everybody knows Shine is very aggressive in Terran versus Zerg. When I play him on the ladder, he 4-pulls every single game. You know what's coming, and I still die to it. And, of course, he's got the intricate plays, too. We saw his boosted lurker on Odyssey into Snow's base. So I'm curious to see if he's got anything else planned. Unfortunately, it's just the best of one on the most standard map in ASL, so that's a bit unlucky. We're not going to see, I don't think, probably anything super unorthodox. But let's get into it. Mong versus Shine, Vermeer. Okay, in the top left, you know he wants to kill this guy badly. It is Mong. And in the bottom right, our Zerg, it is Shine.
And this is a crossbow matchup on a 4-player map, and whenever you're playing on a 4-player map or a crossbow matchup, most likely this is going to be a skill matchup, because there's the rush distance on this 4-player map is really far, about 40 seconds long. And with the first M&M pressure, if he's going to play bio play in the early stage of the game, then the 40 seconds of the rush distance is really far. And that's lots of fans are rooting for Mong. And the guy who was holding the poster, he was the financial supporter previous team where I was joined on a Hawkvert team, and he's also one of the fans for Mong.
Well, it's nice to see fan support for the players. And we do see no early pull from Shine here. So it looks like we may have at least standard opener from him. Meanwhile, remember, we just saw 14 CC in the Barracks versus Light game. I wonder if Mong will feel frisky and go for a greedy opener. I think that's extremely risky versus someone like Shine, though. So I don't expect it, and that is going to be the Barracks.
Yeah, Barracks is being placed at the main base, so I guess both of the players are going to be playing standard opening. Nothing cheesy, nothing super offensive play in the early stage of the game. And let's see whether Mong is going to be doing the counter-clockwise scouting pattern. Yeah, he will be, because if he's doing the counter-clockwise scouting pattern, then he will be able to see that overlord coming from the 5 o'clock, so immediately he will be figuring out, oh, this is a crossbow matchup. That means he does not really need to send a second SCV scout.
Well, if he can get a glimpse of that overlord, for now the overlord, oh, he put it on stop. I'm not sure if Mong actually saw it, and the pathing of the SCV does look like he will go to bottom right. Now, this is what I was wondering, is Vermeer's the map where there is a ton of bases that you can take. You could take mid-right, for example. You could take another main. You could take a natural. There's so many potential bases Shine could take. And he is not going into a fast gas. So this is going to be a 3-hatch play from him.
We can see Mong is just hesitating whether... Well, did he actually see the gas, the Vespene Geyser? I don't think he has seen it.
He has not sent that SCV in. Okay, now he's going to come in. And when he sees that there's no gas here, you know he's going to be looking for that hatchery. Will he spot it? Okay, he does spot it. That's crucial. Because if he doesn't, then he would think, okay, there's a hatchery out on the map somewhere. It may go for something like a 2 racks. But now that he spots it, this is more than likely going to be 1 racks eBay. Potentially we may see 5 racks.
And we may see the classic of 5 years ago of TBZ, where you go for +1 5 racks, as you mentioned. We can see Mong has started the refinery before the second barracks, so we are highly likely going to see eBay follow after this.
Well, we get to see a 7 or 8 lane counterattack, and I really do like this move from Zergs because it forces a bunker at a point in the game where Terran does not want to build this bunker. I can just tell you as a Terran, you did not want to build this. It slows everything down. But, of course, Zerg does sack some econ for this and doesn't get anything done with these links. So good response from Mong. eBay is coming up, as we stated, so this more than likely is going to be the 5 racks.
Well, judging by how fast Mong has put down the bunker, maybe he wants to cut off that additional marine production in order to have that super fast second. If he's cutting those bonus marine production, he'll be able to make more SCB and faster second barracks and the third barracks. But that's a very interesting move. He's shown that there's a bunker, and now those marine are trying to look for the overlord.
Yeah, that was good game sense right there. He knew that the Overlord was going to be coming soon. He tries to cut it off. But that SCV got off a crucial scout seeing the evolution chamber. But Shine's a smart player, and he's a sneaky player. So that evolution chamber could be a mind game like, hey, you think I'm going to be rushing armor? Maybe I'll be going for ultras. Maybe it's just a bait. But this looks like he's going to be using the armor to go into a big Lurker Ling bust. And versus 5 racks, I mean, Lurker Ling is a strong counter.
Well, we are seeing Mong is still not mining the gas with the 3 SCV inside of the refinery, so I guess he just wants to be focusing on the balancing out the mineral and investing in gas. I don't see him still making the comp. Okay, there's the first comp station and second comp station being added, so he really needs to scan and figure out what exactly Shine is doing. There's a purpose of putting down the third hatchery like that, so the creep spread on the left side that first scan will be missing off.
Yeah, there's 3 spaces or 3 places to scan. He needs to choose wisely here. He could be thinking, okay, that third hatch is way off because it's a bait. He knows that I'm going to scan there, so I won't scan there. And he scans in the middle and he spots it. And comboed with the evolution chamber, this does really signal this is going to be a Ling Lurker bust.
Ooh.
And I think, oh, he gets the Overlord too. That's great. But seeing this, I think we're not going to see 5 racks anymore. More than likely, we're going to see the factory come down.
Yeah, I guess more depot being made. That's a very interesting supply depot placement because we know Shine is not a standard player. He likes to play lots of mind game. Maybe there might be like a hidden overlord hiding at the 12 o'clock. Maybe go for the lurker drop. So he's just putting down those additional supply depot. Just like how lots of Protoss players putting down like a edge of the main base, like putting a couple of pylons to have some more vision control. So he's just to make sure whether there's no drop is coming from the top left.
Yeah, and I'm getting flashbacks to the drop game that I was talking about on Circuit Breakers because this looks almost the same. And I remember commentators talking about how there's no way Zerg could be affording speed and drops and have this many lurkers and have lings. So every time we get a look at these overlords, I'm watching. Do the overlords have speed? We see that there's no speed. Mong scanned and saw that they have no speed. So he knows for now it can only be a frontal attack. And +1 is done for Mong, so that's a big power spike for him. Meanwhile, Shine is going to take his third base right next to him. He's just going to take that one right nearby. And those are hold position. Look, and there is speed. So it is going to be potentially the fake drop again.
Well, we don't know yet, but we are seeing Shine pulling all of his overlord, and Zerging 5 lurkers are all the way across the map now. But the Zerging speed is still not done yet, but we are seeing Mong. What is this? Like, Mong is putting down multiple bunkers everywhere. One bunker at the main, one bunker at the natural, including the missile turret. So he's sensing something.
Yeah, he does not want to lose again the same way he did on Circuit Breaker. So I like how he's got some units in his main, some at the natural, trying to get intel on what exactly is going on. I still don't think he's identified that there's speed on the Overlord. So for now, he hasn't fallen for the bait. We see that there is no big Doom drop or fake Doom drop coming, but you can see he's anticipating as there's a bunker in the main, multiple turrets going up. He scans and sees Queen's Nest coming down. He sees a drone transfer, so he knows that there's a third base somewhere, but he doesn't know exactly where.
That's really funny of the missile turret placement. I mean, you don't get to see those type of missile turret placement. Oh, okay, that's a lurker bait. Yeah, you don't get to see those missile turret placement at the main base like that in TVZ because, I mean, Nicolas just ignores those missile turret and will be sniping inside of the main base, but it's a... Well, it's not Mura, so he's just putting the turret ring.
Yeah, also gives him, vision right on the outskirts of his base. We see that Aspire is coming down. It's very slow. It's only halfway done. Hive has just now started too, and actually Mong has this really strong timing right now. He's got 2 tanks. He's gonna have a 3rd one coming out, and his vessel's gonna be coming out. So he could have that 10-minute timing that was really strong, you know, almost 15 years ago. But instead, he's decided to go for a dropship, and this could also be good because the Spire's still not done yet. There's no Scourge anywhere.
Well, the one thing that we have to mention is Shine's armor to upgrade is really fast. I mean, I'm pretty sure Mong does not have started the +2 attack weapon until the science facility is completed. Maybe the science facility is now completed after the dropship has come. So, I mean, maybe Shine is just gonna be buying some time with this masked lurker and zergling here and there and drawing some attention. But at the same time, this is the time for Shine to defend.
Yep, and there's
Oh my
that
God.
drop. Oh my god, the Scourge timing is fantastic. He's going to force an unload. The Firebat is going to not get much done, and the Scourge kill the dropship easily. So this... Okay, well, we've got a center attack. Mong, way far forward. Lurkers not able to surround just yet.
Ooh.
Wow, that's a big shot. Knocks down one of the tanks, but not able to get onto the rest of the army.
Well, looks like Shine's response of this lurker backing up seems really slow, but we see +1 melee upgrade is already done. I'm seeing from Shine, so that means +2 armor is going to be complete soon, and that's going to be a sign for Mong that he needs to be very careful, because even if he has that 1/1 upgrade on this Marine Medic, these lurker has the 1 upgrade advantage of against these M&M. Okay, no armor upgrade still completed for Mong.
Oh my gosh, is that an overstep for Mong? He loses a decent chunk of Marines, but with reinforcements coming in, he may be able to hold this. Those tanks are getting off some big hits. The Lings have done almost no damage. That's a great spread. Looks like Shine may barely be able to push this back, but that was a good trade from both sides. Now, look at this. Shine's already gotten a 4th base coming. He's taking bottom middle at the same time, and Mong's just completely, not necessarily all in, but he's going into 7 barracks here, so he's really trying to end this game, but I don't know if he's going to be able to when Zerg's already on +2 armor and has Defilers.
Well, the thing we have to know for Mong is his +2 weapon upgrade is not going to be as fast as Shine's +2 armor carapace, and these Zergling and Lurkers are just pretty much drawing the attention left and right, and now Mong needs to make some decision making whether he wants to go forward or whatnot. But look at how those oval are being spread at the center of the map. Shine just has the map control.
Yeah, and it does force Mong back, and as we've stated, I mean, this is an upgrade advantage for Zerg, so Zerg's fine with just sitting here and sacking these units because he knows he's going to trade well, and meanwhile, Shine's taking 5th base at mid-right, so this guy's literally everywhere. He's got so much vision all across the map, and he's taking bases, and he's kept the unit count of Mong kind of in check. Now, this is another big counterattack. Drew all the units out of position. He knows where they are. He's going to get into the natural. If there's a Defiler, this game might be over. But luckily for Mong, I don't think there is. The medic on the ramp doesn't block, and he lets in Lings and Lurkers.
Well, Lurkers are somehow sneaking inside of it, but they are somewhat getting irradiated, but will he be doing lots of great damage, great harassment? And I think the answer is yes, because, I mean, Mong's army is just completely locked at the natural. So now Shine, once again, pulling lots of army here and there. Okay, there are 3 Lurkers, but I feel like those 3 Lurkers are overstepping.
Yeah, that was a good trade right there for Mong to make sure that these Lurkers don't get the damage that he was looking for. Now, Shine committed a lot of units to this. I am like looking at his drone saturation, not just at his 4th base, but also at his 3rd base. You can kind of see that he's not fully saturated there. So even though Shine has 5 bases, it's not like super killer econ. Also, there's no macro patches for him. So Mong's still in a good spot. Firebat not able to take down that Lurker though. That's annoying.
Yeah, the Firebat did not make. They didn't make the work done. So now, okay, finally, couple more Firebat will be clearing it up. But now, Mong is still doing some great job here, keeping up the supply. 115 versus 74. I feel like Shine is just overstepping too much here. he's not getting that much of a benefit out of this trade here. He's going to go for the plague here. Plague on the Marine. Okay, nice one on the science vessel.
Yeah, I think that actually Mong's got it. Like, his vessel count hasn't been reset. As I've stated, Shine has 5 bases, but the eco's not there. There's no macro. Okay, there is a macro hatch, and that could be a game changer. Defy their Ultra, that's a deadly combo, especially when comboed with Plague. So maybe Shine can recover the supply gap right now. He's down 30. This is a lot of production for Mong too, though. He's got 7 Raxes, but +3 armor already done.
That's just
for Shine.
That is just disgusting. 14 minutes 35 seconds, and we are seeing +3 armor is already done. Defiler consuming another Zergling to put down the Darkstorm at the last second. Nicely done, but those firebats will just go inside and just gonna be running all over. But now the single Mutalisk is just flying around to look for the damaged science vessel.
He's gonna get... Okay, actually those are not damaged vessels. That's another good plague onto the Marines, but there's nothing here. There's no lurkers. Okay, now a single Ultra and a single lurker are moving in position, but the vessel's still at a high number. It's at 4. He's gonna push this back. The Ultra does not have the +5 armor power spike. It's going to bleed off, and that's an open 4th base. That's going to die. That Ling counterattack that Shine had a moment ago, I don't see it on the map anywhere, so it hasn't done any damage. And Mong's going to breach this base. Now it's just 3 base versus 3 base, really, because all I see at mid-right is just the gas being mined for Shine. No income for minerals there.
Yeah, one of the expansion will be taken down, but the thing we have to know is Shine still has the 4 base up and running at the 3 o'clock side. So these number of Zerglings and Ultralists really needs to do some job. I mean, Mong is just somehow keeping up the supply to 130 supply count, and now Shine is down on the 85, and Mong, he's just somehow making some comeback here.
He's got really good production with the 7 racks and double starport all game long. The vessel count is remaining strong at 6, I think. And I like what he's done there is he shift moved those hurt vessels back to his main to repair and only kept the healthy ones. Now, of course, these just got plagued, so they've got to be careful. The single lurker not going to save the day for Shine. And we've got another big attack to the 3rd base. Mong's literally everywhere, man.
Yeah, Mong is just every time whenever he has to group up Marine, he's just splitting the Marine in multiple directions to draw some attention. But now that's another Darkstorm, the orange cloud at the bridge. But now these Marines are just going to be assassinating all those drones, and now Shine needs to evacuate those drones. Okay, those drones will be somewhat survived, but the thing we have to know, his supply count is never passing the 100 supply.
Yeah, I mean, he can still win fights, but he's got to have good Darkstorm, good Plagues, and the Vessel does get picked off by a Muta, but I mean, just the standing army of Shine, it's not there. It's Ling Ultra, but the Ultra's count is 1. There's no Lurker either, so there's nothing to prevent, really, Mong from just busting through Darkstorm with this Vessel count. For now, or he is actually pushing back with just a single Defiler, but I mean, like I said, there's just not a lot of firepower here.
Yeah, this is a very scary moment, what I'm seeing here, because if these number of Ultralists and okay, that's the one cute D-Matrix on a single Marine, trying to buy something, but getting the Plague on those Marine Medic and Silence Vessel, including it. So, okay, that's another, the Special Force coming to their base, but the Ultras was waiting there, and Zergling Floods are here.
Well, Mong does need to be careful to not continuously bleed off, 7 Marines or so. That's 14 Marines that really haven't done much damage. And supplies, well, Shine's catching up 130 to 102. He's breached that 100 mark. But Ultra count is higher and higher. It's sitting at 5. I don't think +3 weapon is done yet for Terran. So Ultras can just push through and bully this.
I think Shine is going to take this game, because whenever you see those number of Zerg army like slowly pressuring you at your territory, then you are going to be having lots of pressure, because as Terran player, you must have more than like 3 groups of Marine Medic force to keep up fighting and pushing back Zerg's army. But we can see now Shine is back on a 5 base mining. And he's just getting lots of ultras everywhere. I'm constantly pressuring him. Oh.
Oh, he's gonna lose like 4 vessels, 5, maybe more. He lost 6 out of his 8 vessels, so he's now down to 2. And like you said, once you're pushed back as Terran, it is really hard to recover. The 3rd base or 4th base gets breached, and actually Mong's not turning around for this, so he's gonna try and end the game here. Those are defilers, man. He's not sniping the defiler either. Okay, now he decided he should take that out. He's going to come down to the 4th base at bottom middle and shut that down. The burrow's cute, but I'm not sure if this will actually save those drones.
Well, now these defiler with the single ultralisk and a couple of scourges will be chasing that vessel to the center of the map, and those vessels are going to be dead. And they are dead. They're completely dead. But now single ultralisk. Okay, ultralisk got played. That's an accident move from Shine. Gotta be careful.
Yeah, but it's just a single ultra, and it does get taken out. But supplies have been reset for both sides. 115 for Mong, 95 for Shine. Finally, I see mid-right for Shine has been saturated. There's a lot of drones there mining the minerals, so he does have big econ now, even though he's lost his 5th base at bottom middle. Killing those 8 vessels is absolutely huge for Zerg. He's relieved a lot of the irradiate pressure.
Oh.
Look at this, just a single vessel or a single defiler and single ultra pushes his entire army back.
Yeah, those M&M just getting constantly played on Marine and Medics. So Medics are just becoming really, really dumb in terms of AI and not going to be healing those Marine. And those 3 ultralists are just robbing on those Mong's M&M and just pretty much killing his own M&M there.
Yeah, but now... Okay, I thought he was gonna... Oh, he is going into the 3rd base, and he's gonna breach this again. And again, Mong's not gonna try and save it. He's gonna try and counterattack. I think this could be the first big mistake Mong makes, because he needs this base. He's on 1 base mining, and the floodgates are turning on for Shine. He's got so many ultras and lings all over the place.
And look at the supply. I mean, now Shine has the 100 supply count versus 80, 85, and 80, and going down to 70-ish, and now this is not going to be looking great for Mong. I mean, these 3 Marines are not going to be able to fight back these 2 ultralisks. And looks like Shine is going to take the lead.
Yeah, finally, for the first time in this game, Shine has got a big lead, 100 supply to just 75, and he's really kept the eco in check of Mong. Mong's gonna try and take top middle. I guess he's just given up on mid left, but that's 400 resources that aren't units in a point in the game where he needs
Oh my
units.
god, 24 kills on that single ultralisk.
Wow, what the hell is that?
That's amazing what we are seeing. And those scourges constantly connecting on those vessel. Mong can't really fight back here. I mean, these M&M, okay, now that single ultras will have more record. The highest the kill, 25 kills, what we are seeing. 2 more ultras are coming to the 3rd base, but just drawing the attention. I guess the defiler is waiting for the Zergling, and now the Zergling back up here, consuming the Zergling, using the plague on the Marine, and Darkstorm at the end. Okay, there's another defiler I didn't expect.
Yeah, he's just gonna keep pushing with this plague and Dark Swarm. Does he have enough energy for another Dark Swarm? Looks like the answer is not just yet. He is just going to be triggered into the main now, or into the base now, with the irradiated ultras. They move into the SCV line to rack up some more kills. He's going to get like 5 SCV kills on that single ultra. It's still alive, dude. And the vessel count, oh, he just taps out. There's not enough energy to save the game and Shine. That was a big macro game from him, and he ended up bringing it to Mong and taking the victory.
Wow. I mean, there were some the unique playstyle what we have seen, like not super fast hive tech transition, but the overlord scouting to pretty much bluff to Mong. Hey, I'm gonna be having the overlord speed. I'm gonna be dropping at your main or maybe at the natural, but really wasn't happening. He planned to go for somewhat standard and showed us how well he can actually play in a macro game.
Yeah, it was really, really well played. The armor rush, even though it got scouted, didn't even matter. Like, he played it perfectly. I like the speed to fake the drop. You saw Mong react to it, building a bunker in his main, building all those turrets for something that never came. I mean, that's a great mind game from Shine, and you can see why he's so smart and so deadly. And that means we're going to have Shine versus Light as our winners match.
Yeah, that is going to be somewhat how Shine has played, because from the pre interview he said that every single player has the unique playstyle. Light is a completely standard player, Barracks is completely aggressive player, and Mong is a greedy player, and Shine showed that he can actually play the macro playstyle against the greedy player guy like Mong.
Yep, and we'll be going, I think, into the Hot 6 commercial.
Of
There it is.
course.
Well, let me ask, where do you think it went wrong for Mong? Just as I was watching, I was thinking to myself, man, that's a lot of vessels. Are we going to see BCs anytime? But they never came. Do you think BCs could have been a good option?
Well, I heard there are some reasons. If Zerg is taking another spawning location like the third base, then a lot of Terran players like to go for the battle cruisers, because whenever Zerg takes the third base at the another spawning location, then he will be, of course, taking the fourth expansion at the natural. And whenever Zerg is taking the natural expansion, those creep spread is not done yet for Zerg to put down the spore colony, and it's very useful to use the battle cruisers and pretty much poke on the mineral line, or maybe at the best being geyser. But it looks like those fans are talking about the hot six, and yeah, they're holding the hot six too.
Yeah, remember the last cast we had a epic guy in the crowd. He was chugging a hot 6 also. Well, that's interesting to hear that the BCs, because there was no other main taken, not wanting to build BCs, I guess, for when Zerg takes mid right base or mid bottom base. And look, they are gonna chug at the same time with Into the Rain.
Yeah, drinking the hot six every single time of the ASL cast. And yeah, those fans are also the middle guy. I don't know why he's shaking his hand, but maybe maybe he's just not feeling that great. But he's enjoying of this moment, drinking the hot six. Yeah, talking about the last game, what we have seen of the Mong versus Shine. Shine, I mean, he's a very smart guy. He can play macro, he can play micro, he can play mind game. I mean, I wonder how well he's going to be performing against Light for the next game.
Yeah, well, even though you said Mong's a greedy Terran, I mean, there wasn't anything there that looked greedy to me. Well, we'll talk about that when we get back in just a moment. Alright, we're back and we're about to get into our winners match. It's going to be Light versus Shine. Shine had a solid victory versus Mong just a moment ago. And now we're going to see how Light can fare versus Shine, who's king of mind games, man. I really thought we were going to see the drop game or the drop into the main. Ended up never happening, and we did just have Ultra Ling as a follow-up to the Ling Lurker attack.
And I wonder what the maps are going to be banned off these two players. Were there map bans for round of 16 of best of 3? I don't really recall, but let's see. Oh yeah, I guess they can ban the map. So Neo Arcanoid and both of the players will be banning the Neo Arcanoid, and first map is going to be Butter 2, Odyssey, and Sylphid 3.
Well, I really wanted to see some Odyssey games with Shine because we already saw that clever move he pulled versus Snow. I wonder if he's got something planned versus Terran. Players are ready. Let's get into our winners match. See who's going to start off 1-0 in our best of 3 series. Okay, in the top right, in the red, it is Light. And in the bottom right, should be feeling pretty confident with his ZVT right now, it's Shine. Now, I would really love to see Shine do the same build, just because I want to see how Light responds to it. But I have a feeling we're not going to see the same thing from Shine here. I have a feeling that this is going to be a different type of opener, whether it's 9 pool or whether it's 2 hatch. Compared to his 3 hatch opener in the last game.
Whenever you are playing on a 2-player map, I am going to be assuming Shine most likely going to go for 3 base opening. Oh, that guy kind of looks like Shine. Does he? Well, I guess his eyes are.
Well, I haven't seen Shine enough to make a comment, but I mean, it looked sort of similar in my opinion. And look at this depot. So this might just be an instant wall. And funny enough, if Shine had gone for something like a 4 or 5 pool, which we know he does have in his arsenal, this just instant wall off would have ended the game already. So this is definitely, I feel like, a Shine specific build, initial building placement. We'll see if Light does actually wall off here, but a lot of times when you do wall off, that means we could have 1 base Wraith or something of that sort.
So it looks like another fan for Light NSU fighting, and it looks like another foreign fan is here rooting for StarCraft with a smiley face, and Shine is putting on the 12 battery. And earlier where I was making the comment of 2-player map where you can go for 3 base opening, and I have a feeling he might gonna go for that. And maybe because of lots of players likes to go for 3 base opening on the 2-player map, that's why Light decided to go for 1-1-1 with the 1 base opening.
Yeah, I really like this play from Light because when you're playing somebody like Shine who's got all these weird moves, you know he's the one that likes to be in control of the flow of the game. But all of a sudden when you're pulling out the 1-1-1 or potentially something like 2-port Wraith on 1 base, it's not Shine dictating the pace of the game. It's Shine reacting to the opposing player. So I think this is a really clever move from Light. I think that this is a clever Overlord scout pattern. The Overlord I was expecting to see go straight to the natural and overlook the nat. But look at this. He's going to scout the barracks instantly at the entrance. And he's going to know that, okay, this guy walled. So this is definitely tech play. And look at this. Light has 2 on gas. So this could be heavy tech.
Oh, I guess he wanted to go for the gas steal at the Shine's main base, but he did not have enough mineral to do that. And yeah, whenever you see 3 hatchery opening, whenever you're going for factory expansion like this, I'm going to be assuming Light will be going for 1-1-1 strategy. I mean, there's no reason to go for factory expansion into Goliath build because Goliaths are really bad against those Hydralux and a Mass Mutalisk in early stage and the mid of the game. And we are seeing the Vulture production on the way. 1 SCV transferred to the natural. That will be 23 Command Center.
Yeah, and he did pull one off of gas, so it is just one on gas right now. I guess he won the option to go into some type of heavy tech if he needed to, but seeing the 3 hatch, he's going to put down the command center. 4 lings were built, so there's going to push back these push back this SCV, and Sunken coming in, so the Vulture really not going to do much damage, and that's where all that gas is going. It's going to go into a somewhat delayed starport, not super delayed, but slightly delayed. Maybe we will have a Vulture drop because he's putting on the add-on.
Oh, that Vulture will just come on time that Shine was not able to pick that Vulture. So now this is going to be a tough time for Shine to decide whether he wants to make the Hydrogen or maybe just go for directly making Spartak and go for Muta build. But I'm going to be assuming he needs to put down the Hydrogen because of the first Wraith or maybe even dropship before the Mutalisk pops out. So he really needs it before. Yeah, he really needs a couple of Hydras before the Spartak here, and there's a single Wraith production on the way.
Yeah, it is going to be a Wraith instead of a drop. I like how the Overlord keeps poking in to see, okay, is this guy putting down more factories, or is he putting down barracks, or what's he doing? But, you know, actually Light's done a good job to keep all of his buildings in the back, so really right now, Shine doesn't know what it is, and actually he missed the SCV transfer, so I'm not even sure if he knows that there's a command center. Now he's going to come in and poke and confirm that there is a command center, so at least he knows it's not a one-base play.
And there's a science facility follow-up after the Wraith production, and that single Overlord is going to get sniped, so he knows, Shine knows that Overlord will get picked up, so he's just going to be sacrificing to get some intel whether there was a command center, as you mentioned, and counting how much of a barracks, or maybe even the barracks was is not blinking or what not. And there are 4 Vultures with the speed. I wonder whether he's going to be waiting for the dropship or maybe just go dive into the natural and pick up some drone, but yeah, he's not going to be diving in yet.
He's using the Wraith to see exactly how the SimCity is set up. Is there an opening for him to exploit? Looks like he's decided that there's not enough of an opening for him to sack these Vultures to try and get some drones. Wraith doing a lot of damage, actually, but with 4 Hydras coming out, can he actually kill that thing? Oh my god, the control is crazy.
That one tip that he missed micro of the Wraith did not fire, so that could have been a mistake. But now the starport is now blinking. I wonder whether there is a dropship or whatnot. But never mind, the spider mine research is completed. I don't see the dropship still out on the map, so maybe he's just directly getting the what's it called, the science vessel immediately here. Those spider mines, the map control is definitely beautiful. Couple of spider mines at the 3rd base, at the 3 o'clock and then 6 o'clock, and including the 7 o'clock.
Yeah, and it is going to be mutas, and we've got Hydras and Lings and mutas all moving across the map, but the mines spot that the mutas are coming, so he's already building turrets. He's already got the 2 turrets set up. Now, those Vultures are actually buying time for the vessel to get 20 more energy. You can see Shine knows that this is going to be vessel follow-up, so he's got Scourge mixed in, and if he can pop the first vessel, that'd be a big win for him.
Yeah, I wonder what that A Mira and the 2 Scourge will be doing. But now here's the diving in, picking up one. Okay, not going to be able to pick up the. Okay, now he does pick up the SCV. Nicely picking up those. Okay, 2 Hydralisks will get picked off.
Is there anything in the bunker though? There's not. There's literally nothing in the bunker. So these 2 Hydras just move across the map and get free kills, and the mutas are racking up so many kills. He's killed like 7 SCVs already.
That is just so much of a damage that right now Light is taking in. I don't see Shine is taking the 3rd base, so he's just squeezing all of his resource for more Zergling production.
Is he dead? Okay, no, he's not dead because these Lings don't have speed, and there's a bunker still. But I mean, Zerg is, Terran's on 1 Rax. That's it.
A bait. That's a bait. That was the 2nd vessel he showed on purpose to that, hey, kill my vessel. But the reality of this game is that the 1st vessel was hidden at the top side of the refinery there.
This is a lot of Lings now. I still think there's only 1. Oh my god, that's a huge hit. But he kills a lot of SCVs in the process, and behind this, Shine's taking a 4th base. That's a lot of SCVs that aren't mining. Like, that's 12 SCVs not mining. He forgot about the vessel. He forgot that it's there. He's probably looking like, where is it, man? I know I've got a vessel somewhere. but he might just be dead.
I think this is a GG game for Light, because I mean, I'm seeing the supply count is down on 30. Lots of SCV is getting assassinated by the Zergling, and single barracks is now more than enough to hold.
Yeah, I mean, he spent so much money on these turrets and he rushed the vessel, but he's just completely forgotten about it. And it's just non-stop links. I mean, Shine's probably wondering what the heck's going on.
Oh, he found it!
Now he finally finds it, but our natural is dead, dude. Oh my gosh, that's a great second irradiate, but unfortunately he hits the already bruised Nicolas, so it dies instantly. But supplies are heavily in favor of Shine now, and Shine's got a huge bank, 800 minerals banked up. I mean, he could just put down double macro hatch.
Look at that, he does already. Is that hatchery already being completed? It looks like those creeps are already spreading at the third expansion. So now Shine is just going to switch over to macro game, and look at that, Hive Tech is already started.
Yeah, this was a catastrophe for Light. He really, man, that single vessel could have been game changing, but he just completely lost it. And now, I don't want to say it's an impossible situation, but it's damn near close to impossible. This is one base Terran versus 3 base Zerg with Hive about done, and you don't have any, like, critical mass vessels, critical mass BC, Marine Medic. You don't have anything going for you. He cancels a racks because he's so broke.
Yeah, I guess he's just completely broke to keep up running that 3 racks, so I guess he decided to cancel it to get something up. I know he does not have the academy to make those Marine and Medic yet, but now we are seeing Hype Tech is almost completed. So this is just not looking great. Yeah, that's the academy where I was looking for, and academy is 30%, 50% done, but now Shine is already done with the Hype Tech, so now that's a sign for him getting the Defiler mount. Maybe he might just gonna go for directly making the Ultralisk Cavern.
Yeah, 10-minute academy. Not ideal, to say the least. These mutas are still, you know, on the lookout for some more vessel kills, and he finds isolated vessels. He could actually kill these, but instead eats an irradiant. Actually, he takes a lot of damage there. Loses the majority of his Nicolas, but it's still 25 supply lead for him. He sees that Terran has like 5 SCVs at his natural, so he shouldn't be worried. I see another macro hatch at this third base, so it's 5 hatch production for Zerg right now. Vulture may be able to actually get some damage done.
Yes, Shine is playing absolutely great. I mean, another Zergling Flood. Oh my god, that Spider Mine! Yeah, did hit on the lurker, but will it be able to hold? I'm not sure. The answer is probably no, I would say.
Well, look at that. Those lurkers were so far back, it still didn't matter. The Lings just clean up everything, and this should be Shine's game to take. You can see the head tilt from Light right there. He's not happy with how this game went. I think his build order was great, but losing the single vessel, just heartbreaking for him, and that means Shine is going to be potentially 1 game away unless some type of miracle hold happens right here.
Well, the thing we have to know is the second game of this best of 3 is going to be another 2-player map, Odyssey, and we have seen him doing lots of crazy stuff. I mean, no one expected him putting down the proxy hatchery behind a Snow's expansion and do the lurker act trick to jump over the wall. And yeah, I wonder what he's going to be bringing.
Yeah, like I said, out of all the maps that I wanted to see today of Shine, I wanted to see Shine play on Odyssey because they have that back base that you're talking about. There's temples at the back base also, so you would think, okay, well, maybe he'll bust down the temples, but then there's that wall where you can't even run into the main. So maybe he busts down the temples and then drops into the main, but why would you ever bust down the temples and drop in the main? Why don't you just drop directly? I don't know. I'm sure he's got something planned here. It would be hilarious to me if he takes the third base of Light.
Those are the Bosford girls, the teammate rooting for Shine, and I guess we won't be going into the break. We are immediately going into this second game, Odyssey. Light is saying something on himself. Probably he was not liking about what he has made the mistake from the previous game. I mean, I like the idea of sacrificing the second vessel to hide the first vessel, but the moment where he forgot about his first vessel just pretty much ruined the game, I suppose.
Yeah, when you're talking about that, I was like, okay, well, where's the irradiate, man? But oh man, that's just unfortunate. And even though he's talking to himself there, I don't think he's really like lost his mental state. I think he realized like, okay, that was just a huge botch, but I can recover going into game 2. And let's see if he can. Okay, in the top right, down 0-1, it is Light. And in the bottom left, up 1-0, it is Shine. And looking at that main, I had totally forgotten that there are 2 gases in your main. So we could have really interesting play from both sides.
Yeah, 2 Vespene geysers, just like how we can remember from the old map Optimizer. And it's a split into 2. 4,000 Vespene gas at the top and 1,000 Vespene gas for the bottom, and those are the NSU. Light recently joined NSU, and he's also in a teammate with Sharp, and I don't know who the girl was, probably Sharp's girlfriend, rooting for Light. And yeah, Light really needs to make some better decision making from this game number 2 if he does not want to move down to the decider match.
Well, no early pool from Shine, so we seem to be having a normal opener from him, at least for now. Meanwhile, supply depot about to complete for Light. Don't think we're going to see 14 CC or anything, probably just be normal opener. I would like to see the gas opener again just to see how well it plays out on this map, but I have a feeling we're not going to see that, especially since there's no wall coming down.
For me, for some reason, I have a feeling normally you do 12 hatchery into the last drone will go for the scout. Maybe that last drone might gonna go for the behind expansion. Maybe not. Okay, because I was thinking like some of the Zerg player when I was practicing with some ASL players of this season, and some of the Zerg players like to put the early drone at the behind of the expansion and slowly killing the photon cannon, the neutral photon cannon, so he can able to take the third base whenever he wants. But I guess Shine is not actually planning on taking the third base yet.
Yeah, no third base for him. I thought we may actually have the same have that also, but not the case. And we do see SCV comes in here, sees nothing unusual, and again it's going to be a 3-hatch opener, but the question is where's that 3rd hatch going to be placed? Meanwhile, Light getting pretty much the greediest build he can get is going to be racks into command center with no Marines being built. Look at this, we've got a standoff between the SCV and drone.
Yeah, I really hate how drones can be. I mean, the game has been starting for less than 3 minutes and we are already seeing someone attacking you with drone, not Zergling. Drone is attacking your SCV. I really hate it. I mean, you want to get some intel with the scouting SCV, but drone is just constantly attacking and chasing you all the way down.
Yeah, and you can't do anything about it. I mean, you have 60 health, you've got 20 more health than the drone, but it feels like you just can't hit the drone at all. It's super annoying to deal with. And look at this. It forces even a second SCV to come out. And that SCV should have been drilled into the main, so if there are lings on hold position, it should get through. And we are going to have the 4 or 5 racks follow-up, and I was hoping to see this because, like I said, I want to see how Light responds. We saw Mong end up losing to Shine earlier with the 4 racks, so I want to see how Light can navigate this game and try and get a victory for the Terran squad.
Something just came into my mind. I played against Zerg players and watched those some other games like 3-hatch opening versus the eBay first, and I've seen Light probably like 2 years ago or 3 years ago. Light likes to go for super fast +1 weapon upgrade, but he does not get the range upgrade after the steam pack. He immediately likes to put down factory after the 3 racks follow up, because he knows that +1 5 racks won't be able to do much of a damage done against the Zerg, because I mean Shine is also expert of this StarCraft game. He knows how fast those M&M will be crossing the bridge and coming over to his natural, so he's gonna be of course calculating and not going to be dying against the first M&M pressure. So both of the pairs just gonna be playing somewhat standard here, but Light is not going. I have a feeling Light is not going to go for +4 or 5 racks in the early stage of the game.
Well, that's interesting. I didn't know that he did skip range to rush a factory, but what I did notice about Light is that he doesn't 5 racks often. He does go into, I thought 4 racks, but it sounds like you're leaning more towards 3 racks. But the placement of that 3rd racks does make me think that we will see at least 4 racks. But I still have not seen him 5 racks often, so I don't think we're going to see 5. But small move out right here. It's 6 Marines and a single medic. And we do see Hydrogen put down from Shine. So again, another lurker play. And that's a sizable building in Shine's main. It could be Evolution Chamber for him.
Yeah, lots of buildings going up, and we are seeing the first scan goes off at the net. Sees the sunken and also spots the Hydrogen. So that's a great intel that Light is going to be gathering. And we are seeing another giant building going up right next to the barracks. That must be the factory, I'm going to be assuming. So he of course skipped the range upgrade.
Yep, exactly like you said. So skipped range, going into a 540 factory. That's really fast, really darn fast in comparison to a 5 racks. A lot of 5 racks players are putting down a factory around 7 minutes. So this is almost a minute and a half quicker. And it's going to be the right response because Shine is rushing into Hive ASAP. He's not going for the +1 armor.
It's kind of funny how we can get to see depots being placed at the edge of the main base, like the turret ring or like the supply depot, like how he wants to get the vision where the overlord is coming or whatnot. Okay, he spots the Hive tech on the way. We are seeing Starport is already going up.
Yet now, add-on for the factory. Do you think this is for a tank push? Do you think he can push fast enough? I mean, the Hive's almost done by now.
Well, maybe first 2 tanks will be able to do some damage, but I don't think the 3rd tank will be doing somewhat great harassment. But we are seeing the 3rd Vespene Geyser is already up and running for Shine. And I wonder what exactly he wants to do.
Well, we've got an SCV acting like he wants to take a 3rd base up there, but it seems like it's actually just scouting to make sure there's no lurker drop or something in that position. Spire is done, and that's a lot of eggs being morphed all at once, and that's going to be for Greater Spire. I can tell you I was not expecting that because, I mean, you see Hydra Guardian sometimes, but don't you generally need more econ than this?
Well, this guy is crazy. I'm just gonna be saying. I mean, you cannot expect what he's going to be doing, and we are seeing the Mutalists are now coming out on the map, and I don't think Light knows about this.
Well, he clearly doesn't. There's no turrets. You see a turret anywhere?
No, I don't.
He scans and sees, what the hell? This is a Greater Spire. He's gonna be saying, what the heck, in just a second, because there's mutas in his natural.
Yeah, SEVs are getting picked off at the net, and this is somewhat torture for Light. And I mean,
actually, Light's in big trouble, man, because there's no vessel out. He ended up putting an add-on onto his factory to build tanks, and well, you can see there, tanks don't help you versus mutas. So he may have one irradiate versus guardians. And he also doesn't have a double starport, so he needs to scramble to get race or something, because right now he has no answer to these 9 guardians being morphed.
I wonder what this strategy is. I mean, lurkers are being... Wait, is this Hydra Guardian? This might be the Hydra Guardian rush, but not sure.
That's too late. That starport's starting when the guardians are basically done. He has a single irradiate, and that's it. And this might be hold position lurkers on the ramp or on the bridge.
Oh my god. Yeah, this is Hydra Guardian. That's all in.
Oh my god. Well, these Marines need to trade effectively, but with the lurkers there's no way to engage. And Shine is moments away from getting out of this group in first place.
Oh my
I
god.
don't see any world where he can actually engage this. Look at this. There's no counter.
Well, there's a single irradiate. It's finally been thrown down, but one starport is not more than enough. But okay, finally the single wraith is here. But look at the Hydraless wave is incoming, and now going to be targeting on those wraith. And Light is Light is in trouble.
This game's done. This is one base Terran versus I realized just two base Zerg, but this is Hydra Guardian with massive range with lurker support too. Tanks I don't even think have siege mode, so they can't even siege up and try and help support here. Marines can't even look at this. They're bugging out on the Guardians because the Guardians are hitting first. Okay, tank is gonna siege up, but does it matter? I mean, he's gonna focus down the starport. That's a dead starport. That means no more raids from that particular one. Cloak is trying to come in, but that's not gonna complete, I don't think. There's still 8 Guardians alive here.
Yeah, focus targeting on those single siege tank, and now Cloak Wraith is done.
Wow.
There are still 7. Okay, now 6, 5, 4 Guardians remaining. But is this? Wait, what's going on?
Where's the Overlord? He has an Overlord, but it's just too far away. But does it matter is the question. This is still 2 base Zerg with, you know, potential 3rd base that can't be attacked. Hydras and Lurkers and Guardians on the low ground. And Terran's stuck on 1 base.
Yeah, that 2 Guardian is doing some work, and look at that left side of the left side. Lots of Overlords are here standing.
Well,
This game is crazy.
I guess Light can still have a chance here because Shine's continuing to just build units nonstop. He's not droning up, but Terran's still in obviously a horrible position. I mean, there's just so many Hydras here, but the fact that the Guardian count is just at 2, the tanks can dish out a lot of damage. The Vessel also stayed alive also, so he does have Irradiates building up, and the 3rd base being in the back. I mean, he can float his command center over there, so he can start mining a 2nd base in just a second.
This is disgusting. I mean, main base 3 gas. I didn't expect you can go for a Guardian build like this. And this is crazy.
Yeah, out of all the builds, this was the least that I was expecting. I just had no idea that this could be even possible. But now this is 6 Guardians, and this is a bit harder to stop. I mean, more Hydras are streaming across the map. Look at this, Shine's double expanding mid left and top left. The 3 tanks are holding strong. Command center is landed, so Light does have eco coming in, and remember the main has double gas, so he does have a lot of gas coming in, so he's not out of it. Supplies are even somehow.
I like the idea of this Guardian Hydra, but the one thing I'm somewhat disappointed was he didn't make a single Devourer. I mean, if he had a single Devourer, that Wraith, I mean, when he had the Cloak Wraith, those Spore Acid, without the Overlord you can still see it, and he could have been able to finish the game off, but that's one mistake from him where I can think of. But I mean, he's still having this huge lead here and buying a couple more seconds and a couple more minutes at the natural here. But we know Light has 1/1 upgrade of this Marine Medic Force. Gotta be careful.
Well, actually, Shine needs to be careful because this is just Hydras, and I realize Hydras are decent, but Marine Medic Tank is a bit better than just pure Hydras. You can see Shine's supply just plummeted down to 65, and that's going to be bleeded off Guardians at top left and Mutilis. So Light has somehow recovered, and now it's Shine with not big eco, with a unit comp that doesn't have upgrades, and flat out does not beat Marine Medic Tank. I think Light just did it somehow. Look at him, he's busting out.
Okay, the Lurkers are finally out, borrowed. Picking up some more Marine, and all those Marines are getting executed. But now, how is he going to be defending the Defiler?
He blew all of his... Yeah, how's he going to defend the Defiler? He's blew all his energy on the Guardians. But guess what? Here's the orange cloud, and he has absolutely nothing that can deal damage to any units under the cloud. He needs to scramble to get Fire Bats out ASAP. Wraith can't help him here. Tanks can't really help him here. This is a lot of Lings. Luckily for him, he killed the majority of the Hydras, so there's not much lurker support, if any. But Orange Cloud in the main on top of the production. If he can get an Orange Cloud onto the mineral line, he's going to be able to eliminate all of the income from Light. Good irradiate there, but still, he has nothing to hit these things.
Having total 5 racks production here, but these lurkers are going to be buying quite a lot of times, and now Scourge does connect on that raid to pick off, and more Hydralisks are coming. I think he's just going to be targeting on the Science Vessel. He really wants to get the Science Vessel, but he won't be because those 3 Siege Tanks are buying some time, and you can see those 3 Siege Tanks were targeting on those lurker, buying some time. Okay, now Fire Bats are going to be clearing it up.
What happened to the Filer? Did it die?
I think it died.
I didn't see how it died, but there's not a follow-up Dark Swarm, and that means that, again, Light's going to stabilize his natural. He's fizzling out. Drones are just being pumped out for Shine at the mid-left bases, so he's transitioning this, but he's lost his window to try and go for a killing move. Now he's screaming to go to double evolution chamber, where Light's already at 1-1 upgrades. The tank count has not been killed, actually 2-1 upgrades. Light doesn't have a lot of production, but 5 racks is still decent with this tank support.
Yeah, finally putting down the 3rd command center for Light. Light's main base is almost getting depleted there, and yeah, that army count is looking scary. I mean, 4 tanks with the 3 vessel with a couple of medics and Firebat moving towards to the center of the map, and now this is going to be the time for Shine to defend, but really be able to defend.
I just don't see anything that lets him defend. He has no counter to the vessels. He's got a lot of hatch, right? He's got 6 hatch, but this is 2-1 Terran with tanks, with irradiate. You don't have the Guardians anymore. I mean, maybe he can stall with Orange Cloud on the bridge. That could be a game-winning or game-changing move right there. That's exactly what he does. But there's no lurkers. I mean, it's literally pure Ling Defiler, and that's it.
I wonder how well Zealot, the Zerg player Zealot, will be playing off with this Shine strategy. I know he's the type of player who really loves to use the Guardian Hydra build with the 2 hatch opening against Terran. But Shine's build with the 3 hatch opening with the 3 gas at the main base, so that's very interesting. I want to see, but anyway, we're going to be taking a look at these 4 Siege Tank pressuring to Shine's natural, and I don't think Shine is going to be able to defend.
Yeah, I mean, Light's also attacking top left at the same time. There's no Defiler here. Tanks obviously have longer range than the Lurkers, so he's just shelling down the Lurker. He's going to pop the Nidus and the Sunkens too. Scourge have not connected yet either. Firebat's getting D-Matrix, so he wants to end this. And what looked like an inconceivable victory for Light, or save of his natural, he saves it, and he steals the win. And now the series is tied up 1-1, and Shine's got to be kicking himself for that. It looks so close, or it looked like it was so heavily in his favor that he was going to get it.
Yeah, that one moment, I mean, where he could have ended the game. I mean, if he has brought those Overlord at the entrance of the lights ramp, then I'm pretty sure he would have been able to see those cloak wraith and pick off those wraiths to defend those guardian. But one mistake just flipped the table around, and Light was able to make some comeback.
Oh my gosh, I can't believe that Light held that. Like you said, the Devour could have been the game-winning move. If you hit him with the Acid Spore, gives vision, don't need the Overlord. You don't even necessarily need the Devour for the DPS, just get the vision. The clutch cloak kicking in. I thought the cloak was going to get canceled for sure. So what a miraculous win from Light. Didn't give up. And now he's going to be feeling really good going into Game 3, because now it's Sylphid. I know you don't like the top middle spawn as Terran, but this is a normal map compared to Odyssey.
We can see Light was just shaking off his head, because he knows he lost the second game in terms of mind game and in terms of strategy wise. Everything he lost. Only the reason why he won because Shine did not send the Overlord, and Light seems he's not satisfied with this play. But we're gonna be looking into game number 3 here. Light versus Shine on Sylphid.
Okay, in the top middle. The spawn you like the least. It is light.
That's
In the mid right, we've got Shine.
It's his destiny. Unfortunate for him that he's going to be start off with the 12 o'clock, and 12 o'clock is the one of the hardest location where you can put down the missile turret to defend this middle harassment. And I wonder if Light is going to do 8 racks opening.
Yeah, it could be a good opener because so far Shine has gone 12 hatch every game. In fact he's gone 3 hatch every game. You know, maybe this time around if he's gonna 3 hatch, he may be thinking about going 3 hatch before pool. I realize it's a 3-player map, but he could try and do something greedy like that. So far we do not see an 8 racks. And it doesn't look like we're going to get an 8 racks because 100 minerals are being built up, and there's the depot.
The depot is being placed, and we are seeing the overlord is being made. So none of the players are interested of going for something like a super aggressive playstyle in the early stages of the game, like a 9 pool versus 8 racks. But I guess both of the players are very confident to play something standard here.
Yeah, well, I think if I was in Light shoes and I just held that strategy that Shine pulled out, I'd be feeling really confident in my just standard play. But Shine should be feeling pretty good too, even though he ended up losing the game. I mean, he was so close to taking the victory, and he ended up winning game 1 too. So he should be feeling good about his chances. We do have hatchery going down at the natural. We do have a drone being sent out, and okay, it is just going to sit at the nat and deny scouting for now. I wonder if he will. Okay, he is going to scout with it. I thought he might try and put down a hatchery at bottom middle, but not the case. Pool already going down.
Yeah, this is going to be the drone micro once again at 2 minutes of the game. He wants to deny Light Scout as much as possible, but once again, making drone. Interesting. I mean, this is the type of map. This is a map where you can go for what should I say? I mean, the 2H Mutalisk can be doing lots of harassment, but I guess he is planning to do something else once again with the 3-hatch opening.
Yeah, I guess he just really likes that 3-hatch play. You know, it's not very meta these days, so maybe he wants to just play a style that's off meta, something that he's more familiar with, where he knows Terran's not familiar with, and what just happened.
Okay, yeah, so I'm just looking at the supply count, how exactly he's doing the build order of Shine. I saw 12th, 3rd hatchery, and an extractor at 11, so there might be a potential chance that Shine might gonna go for speed Zergling first into lair attack, because his extractor timing was started at 2 minutes 40 seconds and it was really fast.
Yeah, that is quite quick for a 3-hatch play. You're usually seeing it around 250. And I guess Light already noticed that also, because generally when Terran sees 3-hatch, they're going into 5 racks or some type of eBay opener, and that's not the case this time. This is going to be an academy, and it's going to be a pretty fast academy too, something like a 335-ish academy. We've already got gas coming down. 2nd rack's halfway done already. Oh, actually, is that an eBay that just went down for him?
No, I think that... Oh, maybe that is. Okay, yeah, there is a 2nd barracks and then also putting on an eBay. So this is something that we have seen from 5 years ago, where Flash does a 2 racks opening into an eBay first. But the thing is, he's cutting off lots of marine production to have more SCV production and an eBay follow-up here. So the scouting NCV is getting more intel here. 2 Zerglings are out on the map. He saw the lair tech was going up at the main. Now 4 Zerglings are out.
Yeah, but if there were more Lings behind this... Oh, that's a Hydra Den that just went down for Shide again. But if there were more Lings behind this, Light still doesn't have any intel of that. So again, we're going to have another Hydra opener. No evolution chamber anywhere. Oh, okay, I thought those Lings might be an evolution chamber, but not the case.
I'm gonna be keep my eyes on that the 9 o'clock overlord, whether he's going to be sending the overlord all the way to 11 o'clock, maybe go for like a short distance lurker drop or whatsoever. But we are seeing lots of Zerglings are getting out on the map, but the scouting SCV does spots it.
Did he? He only saw 5. He only saw 5 Lings for now. But still, somehow, Light knows something's going on. He gets an SCV in position. The Lings don't have speed yet either. Okay, now it just kicks in, but this is a lot of Marines. It's going to be really hard for the Lings to actually get in here with the SCV's body blocking. This seems like a mistake from Shine here. Doesn't get much damage done, but I agree with the assessment of the Overlord on the left side. I was thinking, wow, Sylphid's got a really open main. Drops could be great, but doesn't look like Drops is going to be on the menu for now.
Okay, so I wonder what Shine is exactly planning to do. Maybe he's just going to do some about 1.5 grips of Zergling into 3 Lurkers follow-up, because I don't see him making the second extractor yet at the natural, so that means he can only invest his resource to make 3 Lurkers. And now the first scan goes off to see the Hydra Den, and yeah, Light is going to be moving out with the 2 far bet here.
Yeah, but he's got to be careful to not move out too far. I don't even know if he has stim. Okay, it looks like he does. And those Lings just get chewed up. And that's a big loss for Shine, because now he has nothing to support these Hydras.
Okay, more Zerglings are coming from the behind, and those 3 Hydralisks needs to survive. If any of the Hydralisks just falls off, then he cannot morph into a Lurker. Okay, now there will be 2 Lurker eggs at the map, but these Zerglings are going to do some work here, picking up the last Marine.
Yeah, but he killed all the Lings. I don't even know if it matters at this point. All Light really needs to do now is scan and be concerned about what the follow-up is. We know that the gas just went down for Shine, so we know that this is all in. This is not like, there's not going to be a hive or anything. I mean, he just needs to focus on building bunkers, and he should hold this.
Yeah, I don't think this pressure is going to be working out well, because the +1 weapon upgrade for Light is going to be complete soon, in next 10 seconds or so, before the 7-minute mark of the game. And those Zergling floods are coming, but we know Light is just going to be making a single fire bet here.
2 Lurkers in range of the bunker, not what you want to see as a Zerg player, so that's going to be pushed back. I guess we still aren't sure exactly if Shine is transitioning this, but I don't see a building placed anywhere, so I don't think that this is a Queen's Nest or anything. You can see the rally point is set to Light Space, so it's literally just pure Ling Lurker. SCV is going to come in and confirm that there's no additional buildings, but he does see Nat Gas, so he could be a little bit worried that this is going to be some Hive Tech follow-up.
Oh, he's just going to be breaking it with the +1 weapon upgrade, and picks up the 2 Lurkers. Sacrifice those Marine, but okay, picking up another Marine Lurker and another Lurker, that's total 4, and that is going to be not looking great for Shine to hold off the contain.
Yeah, that's pretty much all she wrote for Shine, with the Lurker count being reset down to 3. You know, maybe there was a world if he had gotten something like 10 Lurkers where he could just insta-pop bunkers, but with just 3, what can he do here? Factory's done, so tank's going to be coming out pretty soon, Starport's going out, and now there isn't even enough Lurkers to keep Light in his main, so this is going to be a task force that moved out on the map. He'll be able to attack this natural, and now Shine has to defend his nat while also trying to break. And we just know that that's not possible. So this is Light's game to take. He's got a huge lead right now. Science facility coming in.
That single Marine will just go for the scout at the 9 o'clock to see whether there's a 3rd expansion or whatnot. But we are seeing Shine once again squeezing all of his resources to make more Lurkers. And I guess he knows he cannot go for the late game here. He will be just going to go for the Lurker Zergling all in bust. And Light definitely sensed something. He knows there's no 3rd expansion at the 9 o'clock, so he's just going to be defending the natural.
Yep, and this is it. Shine's going for the killing blow, but there's just not enough. The spread of the Marines was fantastic, I have to say. Consistently in this game, he spread amazingly, and that means Light just barely going to make it out in first place. Easily, Shine could have been out in first place 2-0, but it's going to be Light making it through 2-1.
Absolutely crazy how well Light played of that game number 2 to make some comeback and still be able to play it for the game number 3. But the game number 3, I think just the mind game of Shine, what he really wanted to do, did not work out well, because that second SCV scout at the center of the map sees the Zergling, and he just figured out, oh, there's a Zergling rush, so he just immediately has the Sim City at the natural with the supply depot with the bunker and single SCV. But I guess we'll be going to the winner's interview. This is a ASL Season 14 Round of 16 Group A. The first player will be advancing into Round of 8. Congratulations to Light.
8강 진출에 성공하긴 했지만 가슴을 쓸어내릴 뻔한 장면들이 굉장히
even though you made it into round of 8, there were a couple of moments where you had some tough moments to defend against the opponent's strategy and attack. And how do you feel of today's game?
좀 쉽게 생각하고 왔는데
Light is saying that he thought that it was going to be a very easy game for him to make it into round of 8, but he didn't really expect how strong Shine was going to be played in the winner's match. He did not want it to lose his hope because he made this group from the group nomination, so he wants to keep his plan going on. And it was somewhat lucky for him to defend and able to win. So game number 2, the Guardian Hydra Rush. Without the raid, you probably lost the game if your raid did not pick up those Guardian. And how did you feel against that strategy? And Light is saying that he's complimenting of Shine's strategy, how his strategy was kind of unexpected for him to defend. All of a sudden, he started to have those 9 Muta and harassing him, and turns into Guardian, and everything was just lucky for him. So after that game number 2, you decided to play really well for game number 3. And what made you to play better for game number 3? So Light is saying that all those best of 3 games, he's saying Shine chose to go for 3 hatch build, so it was somewhat easy for him to defend. So since you had some tough time of playing this round of 16 and moving into round of 8, we are excited to see you play really well again on round of 8. And how do you feel of making it to round of 8? So he thinks that even though he made it into round of 8 as the first player of this round of 16, he still needs to study more. So lots of people somewhat worried about his group game, his round of 16 group stage. And he wants to say thanks to practice partner. He said JYJ, Scan, and Killer for the practice game. And he also wants to say thanks to the NSU teammates and the NSU, the chairman, the team leader. And thank you for the support. And congratulations making it into round of 8, and we'll see you once again.
Thank you for the translation, and thanks to Scan. I know that guy. You helped him get through, man.
Yeah, Light is absolutely beast. When I was playing the practice game with him, I was just pretty much like a sandbag. I mean, I was getting all beaten up when I was playing him like 15 games in a row, and he's just absolutely monster. But we are also taking a look at here the Africa event, Ask ASL. If you leave the comment on a ASL mainstream platform, then you'll get the ASL mini fan, and there's also ASL Season 14, the uniform. They're selling, I suppose, at the shop, the shopafricatv.com there at the bottom below. If you guys are interested of looking to buy some ASL jersey shirt, then go to that website. And I'm not sure what she's saying, but how do you feel about that game of the best of 3 of Light versus Shine?
Well, I think Shine played pretty well. I think the last game was a bit lackluster, but I am looking forward to his final and to see him in the final series, because I think he's got a better shot versus Mong and Barracks. But we're going into a break, and then we'll be back with Mong versus Barracks. All right, we are back, and this is our losers match. It's Mong versus Barracks. We saw Barracks actually play really well versus Light in a position that I thought was unbreakable. He ended up getting out of his natural, actually had a supply lead, got a lot of bases, but in the end, Light a little bit too strong. But now he's going to be going up against Mong, who's definitely a tier lower than Light, but Mong is definitely a formidable opponent. He's done well. And the last ASL, I remember he had an epic game on Vermeer versus Solkyu, of course, TVZ, but his TVT is no joke either.
Yeah, Mong, he unfortunately did not play well that game number 1 on the game number 2 of this group stage against Shine, but we know Mong is absolutely beast with the mech army control, and I know back in the day, Mong was one of the Terran players who was really good at TVT, and Barracks is also great in terms of overall like TVZ and TVT and TVP, but Mong has more higher career compared to Barracks, so I would like to see how well Barracks is going to be fighting back against Mong.
Yeah, I too want to see how Barracks can do here, because I know Artosis really likes Barracks, but Barracks in ASL so far really hasn't gotten too far in any season, so I'm hoping to see a breakthrough here. But regardless of who breaks through, I mean, Shine looks like he's the man to beat in this group after Light because he's playing so well. Our first map is going to be Butter, and we're going to get another new map in the second set. It's going to be Nemesis, so that's going to be fantastic. Players are ready. Let's get into game 1. Okay, in the bottom right, our green Terran, it is Mong. And then, of course, in the top right, the yellow Terran, it is Barracks. Now, we did see 14cc from Barracks on Vermeer. There's no way we're going to see 14c again, you think, on Butter?
Well, there might be a potential chance of going for 14cc once again, but I don't know. I really cannot expect what exactly Barracks will be doing. He's a type of player who likes to play aggressive, but at the same time, it's just very hard to expect what kind of opening he will be doing. Sometimes he likes to go for one base opening, like a 2 factory opening. Oh, I think that guy is Ruby earlier.
Was that Ruby?
I'm quite not sure. Maybe not Ruby, but kind of look like it, but not sure. But we are also taking a look at this ASL match history of these two players, Mong versus Barracks, 2-1. And the last time, the recent game against these two players was ASL Season 12, round of 24 Group B, and Barracks took down Mong there. And I think that was the map Eclipse, I believe.
Yeah, I think that was the epic game that I was talking about. I mean, it was really back and forth, like 40 minutes at least, like really close. And we do have okay, well, wait a minute. Mong is, I'm not sure, is Mong proxying a Rax? Okay, he is proxying a Rax. I was like, dude, this is so late. I don't even know if you're actually proxying a Rax anymore, but he is. And we do have was that an 11 gas or a 10 gas from Barracks? I mean, this is already completed.
This was 10-10-10 from Barracks.
Okay, well, 10-10-10. Obviously, people know that for TVP, but Terran versus Terran, what are you looking to accomplish with this?
I have no idea. I mean, he's the type of player who likes to play aggressive, and I don't know what he's actually planned to do in this game number 1 of this best of 3 series. And look at that. This is going to be the 14th factory from Barracks, and now there's a factory being placed. And what second is this? 2 minute 16 seconds.
This is about 15 seconds faster than a normal 12 gas factory timing. So, of course, Mong is going to scout this and see that it's really fast. Now, 15 seconds, I think a Vulture is 19 seconds. So, basically, Barracks is going to have 1 additional Vulture if he ends up going into Vultures. But he's mining 3. Oh, is he on 3 on gas? It looks like he's only 2 on gas. I was going to say, I think that this could be 2-port Wraith on 1 base. But now that he's pulled off, I'm not sure exactly what this is.
Yeah, I completely don't know what he's gonna be doing, but Mong is just gonna be feeling somewhat nervous of this game because SCV is getting drilled by the scouting SCV, but it's dangerously low, 5 HP remaining, and Mong knows the factory is really fast from for Barracks, and now both of the players, okay, Barracks is not going to be losing the scouting SCV here, but there are 2 Marines are out on the mat with the vultures are incoming.
I'm so confused by this. I thought when I saw the second Marine done and a third Marine being built that this could be a tank push. You know, Shiny's tank push with Starport, but not the case. It's going to be Vulture with a proxy factory, and Mong is doing, I think, the correct response because this looks like it could be a tank push with Wraith. So he goes into a Starport himself, but that's just a proxy factory, man. But how's this going to actually work out? Because the Rex is floating across the map.
And now the Vulture is going to be going out, but at the high ground, there are the 3 Marine with the Vulture was standing. That Vulture will be sacrificing, but he'll be getting the intel here. But now Barracks has to be making the decision making. He needs to go for the attack move, but the thing is, there are 2 Marines are inside of... Okay, Mong does not have any additional Vultures are coming out, so those Marines are going to be soaking up the Marine hit, and Vultures are going to be doing the run by here.
Yep, look at that. He knocks down one of the SCVs, 2 of the SCVs. That was, I think, about as good as it could possibly have gone for Mong, but still 2 Vultures to get in. The add-on really hurting him here. He was going for a tank, so he has no Vultures in production, Wraith in production, but that's going to take a long time for it to complete. He's racking up so many SCV kills, and again, he still doesn't know what the follow-up is. He sees 1 factory in the main, so he probably thinks that it's Wraith, but we know that's not the case because it's actually double add-on factory.
Oh my god. So there's a tank production on the way for Barracks here, but the armory is going up. I mean, Mong spent that resource to make some additional Vulture to hold off that 2 Vulture harassment, but now, thing is, oh, you don't have expansion. So Mong is just not gonna be feeling great, even if he has a second command center is going up. And I don't know what that research is going up for, but maybe the Spider Mine research?
Yeah, I feel like it has to be for Spider Mine. She's already built 2 Vultures. If you get siege mode or tanks, I mean, the Vultures become, you know, useless. So at least mines would give you something, but he doesn't have it done, and there's 2 tanks already out in the map. He's probably wondering where the hell that tank came from, but he still hasn't confirmed that there's a proxy factory. So this is going to be 3 tanks with Goliath support on his doorstep. I don't even know if there's anything in the bunker. Oh my god, insta-siege mode. Yeah, that's dead.
Yeah, that expansion is going to be dead, and 3rd tank is coming, and the Goliath is coming from the right side, so now the Natural is vulnerable. Mong, I don't think he's going to be able to hold off. He does have put down the spider mines, but you know, the mech army is very smart. Whenever the spider mine triggers, then he will be immediately picking up. But okay, he will be stepping on it, but doesn't really matter because he does have a single SCV to repair. Okay, that Wraith is just trying to do some work.
Yeah, oh, it gets taken down. So that's it. There's nothing for Mong. Barracks doubling supply, and this was just destruction from Barracks, and you could tell that Mong was completely thrown off. He had no idea what it was, and Barracks gets a quick win.
Yeah, Mong, I guess he's just not happy of his decision making. This thing did not work out well.
Yeah, I think from what he saw, I mean, that's exactly what you should do. He saw 1 factory. He saw this guy has 2 on gas. He saw the factory's 15 seconds faster than normal. I mean, what person's really proxying a second factory? I mean, that just doesn't happen in TVT. So it looked like a good follow-up from Mong, but in the end was definitely the wrong follow-up. And now Barracks 1 game away, and he should be feeling really good going into Nemesis.
Yeah, Nemesis is one of the map we can remember of the season 6 or season 7, where the map was called Blockchain with lots of like assimilator blocking the path. And yeah, I wonder how the TVT is going to be played on Nemesis.
Yeah, Blockchain was a really interesting map. Really hard to play. It will be cool to see how both players play it. I think we may have a lot of drops, a lot of race. right in the top left. He needs a win, otherwise his ASL run is over. It's Mong. And in the bottom right, it is Barracks, or top right, I mean. So, blockchain, I gotta admit here, when it was in the ladder map pool, instant veto. It was too weird for me. Now, we've got horizontal spawns. Does this affect your build order choice? Like, does this change? Like, let's say you wanted to go 3-fact vulture. Do you all of a sudden change it up because of the spawns?
Well, I don't think it changes so much because you have all those assimilator right next to your each location of like the natural, and you're also at your main base, and as long as you're just killing those assimilator, or as long as you're killing those assimilator before those lurker eggs, the neutral lurker eggs being killed, then it is going to be completely fine. And at the same time, this map, the center of the map is really huge, like a circuit breaker, and I have a feeling both of the pairs might gonna go for vulture, the mass vulture, or in the early stages of the game into something like a 3-factory, or maybe one of the players will go for 4-factory and then slowly transitioning into Siege tank.
Yeah, 3-fact vulture is like the go-to build these days, and it's always up in the air whether it's going to be a starport or the 4th fact. We do see both players putting down similarly timed barracks, and we do have gas coming in for both players, so it is going to be mirrored builds so far.
Yeah, either of them hasn't gone out for the scout yet, so now we have to take a look at here whether this is going to be 14 scout or barracks scout after the barracks is complete. Okay, no scout yet for both players. Never mind, barracks is sending out, so we are seeing the first player, barracks, will be going for the scout with the 14. And this is going towards to left or bottom? Bottom?
Yeah, it looks like he's going to get unlucky and go bottom right. Meanwhile, Mong, where's he going to go? He might be going to the bottom also, it looks like. So both players going to last scout. That's a bit unlucky for both sides. You can see Barracks still has 3 on gas scan, and this is pro level, so you know this was definitely intentional. So we may have another quick game. You have to consider Nemesis is a map where spawns are on low ground. So if you can set up on the high ground, overlooking the natural and the main and the ramp that's right there, it may be unbreakable for Mong. So this could be a cute move from Barracks.
Yeah, interesting to see from what Barracks is doing. I'm not sure what exactly he's planning to do with this opening, but we are seeing the second SCB moving out of the map. Is he really planning to go for proxy build?
Yeah, I was
looks
thinking
like
just
it.
that. Can you proxy a factory? I was going to say, could you proxy a factory at the mid-left base, but it looks like he's just going to put it outside in the center of the map, potentially? No, he does have a second factory in his main going down, so it is going to be the 2-fact play. But this SCV is curious. It's going to be 2-fact with a starport. That's a lot of gas scan. Can you afford all this?
Well, I guess he can. I mean, maybe this is going to be the Vulture War, I suppose, and into a starport, the dropship follow if he really wants, or maybe the Wraith. But I like how Barracks sent that second SCV to pretty much make Mong to get confused here, because Mong went for the cross scout into bottom left, and then he had to scout the 1 o'clock for the last, and yeah, he just now needs to get some intel here. Now he sees there's no command center, and as soon as you see there's no command center, you need to make a decision making. What are you going to do, Mong? Are you going to put down the bunker at the net?
It is drops. It is going to be Vulture drop. That means there's probably going to be an armory also. So it could be Vulture drop followed up by Goliath drop. And this is a really, really old school build if he goes into Goliath drop. He's got double add-on. That's interesting. But if he can get out 2 tanks with Vulture support on the high ground, I mean, think about it. Are you going to engage in the high ground with Vultures up there and tanks?
Yeah, we can see those machine shops being rotated and more Vultures are coming out. So that means we can assume Barracks is making mass Vulture with the Spider Mine with the speed upgrade at the same time, and probably the dropship or maybe the Wraith follow up for the next combo.
I'm just looking at this, and I mean, there's just more stuff for Mong right now. So right now, it doesn't look like there's really anything Barracks can do to get damage done. I mean, Mong's so confident in his position right now. He had an add-on, cancels it. I guess he suspects that this could be Goliath follow-up, like I said. And there's the Vulture drop. It's going to go into the main. And there is 2 additional Vultures outside the natural right now.
I'm curious why Mong is not putting down the bunker. I mean, if he has put down the bunker, then those Marine will be just constantly doing some great work. But now these 4 Vultures are going to do some harassment. But the thing is, Mong has more Vultures, and now here more 4 Vultures are coming at the natural, picking up 1 Vulture and taking down all those Marine.
He's getting a ton of SCV kills. Even though Mong has more Vultures, he's killed a ton of SCVs. However, you got to factor in that Mong still has double command center. Now, Barracks is in the position that I thought he was going to be in. He's got Vultures on the high ground. If he can get 2 tanks up there, I think this is an impenetrable position. But it's just pure Vultures at this point. Wraith is coming out, but there's Goliath here. It's 6 versus 4 though, and with the Goliath and with the
oh my
like
god!
That, he kills both of them. I can't believe he killed both of them. But look at that clutch repair! Holy smokes! He saved both of the Vultures, and that may have been a game-saving move right there for Mong.
Yeah, that Goliath is just going to be able to defend that Wraith, but okay, did not step on the Spider-Man, gotta be careful, but one Spider-Man will be triggered. That one tip away of getting that Goliath killed, but we are hearing more Vultures being unloaded. Vultures are going to be picking up that Goliath, but okay, getting repaired. Oh.
Well, he loses the Goliath, but he still has so many Goliaths left over, and, you know, Wraiths being cloaked are annoying, but they don't have exactly the highest DPS in the game. So for now, even though it looks like a dire situation for Mong, I still think he's in an okay spot. You gotta remember, Barracks still has no command center, but he's only got Vulture Wraith. I mean, there's no tanks. If there's tanks here, I think this game ends. But with it just being Wraith Vulture, I think Mong will stabilize. He is down 10 supply though.
Okay, more Wraiths are coming, but wrong rally point. That single Wraith will get picked off, something that Barracks really didn't want to lose. But I don't see the command center is going up. Okay, now he does have the 400 mineral to put down the command center for Barracks, and this is tons of damage that he has done. But the high ground Vultures are not going to be able to harass.
Oh man, another drop into the main, and it's 4 Vultures again, so they can one-shot the workers. Mines being set up, trying to kill these Goliaths, not able to connect any just yet.
Okay, that Spider Mine does trigger, picking up that single Goliath, nicely done.
Oh my god, the SCV count just kind of looks pitiful in the main for Mong now. So actually, Barracks has still done more damage to the mineral line than I actually anticipated. Supplies are still close though, 49 to 40. These Vultures have just done so much damage. 5 kills on the SCV line at the natural.
Oh, now that Cloak Wraith just finally ran out of the energy, gotta be careful. Bunker is not the bunker, the command center is going to be complete for Barracks here, having that 55 supply versus a 46, and we are looking at Barracks' starport here, making more units there. Maybe it can be the dropship, maybe it can be more Wraith production, but I have a feeling this is going to be more dropship production, I'm going to be assuming, because he does have that single dropship still being alive. If he's able to get that second and third dropship, then Barracks is going to be having that high chance of making the 4 tank, maybe. Oh my god, those Goliaths are constantly getting killed.
Yeah, he's doing so much damage with this Vulture play. Just incredible. But Mong's done a good job to stabilize. It's 56 to 51. But the Vulture drops are just endless. I agree. I think we're going to see more drops. I still am waiting for that tank drop on the natural. But Mong has done a good job to clear out those mines. That was, I thought, a miss rally. But the first 2 tanks have shown himself. And that should be alarm bells for Mong. Like, hey, I need to get some type of defense on my high ground. Because if tanks get up there, I'm in real trouble. But instead, he's posturing like he might actually want to move out.
He does have 2 to 3 raids at the main. Okay, I guess Barracks lost his Barracks, so he won't be able to get the compensation to until that Barracks is finished with the Academy follow-up. So now Mong, somehow he managed to keep up the game. He canceled that control tower to make a Wraith production on the way, and a single SCB will be scouting the 9 o'clock to see whether Mong is taking the expansion or not. He's building something, is he? At the 9 o'clock?
It's probably an eBay, I'm guessing. I think that's off. Oh, that's a depot. Okay, so he is going to block the third base of Mong just to be a little bit annoying. But both players, I think, have stabilized at this point, so we've got even supplies. We've got another drop from Barracks, and this time around it should get shut down. If this does damage, I don't really know what Mong has to do to just prevent this dropship from getting tons and tons of kills.
Oh, the Vultures is stuck.
Oh, that's unlucky. Oh, but he loses a Wraith, so he loses a tank for free, but then he gets a Wraith kill for free, so pretty much an even trade right there. He does manage to save his dropship too, and we do have 4 fact follow-up. 5 fact maybe it looked like Barracks wanted to go for.
Yeah, not sure what exactly he really wants to do, but okay, I thought that was an Mong Spider Mine, but that wasn't the Mong Spider Mine. We are seeing Barracks is moving out with the 7-volt, 7Cs tank. And I guess that one single dropship constantly drawing the attention at Mong's main base is pretty much annoying him as much as possible. And now those siege tanks are going to be drawn at the center of the map. And what will Mong do?
Yeah, and even though this looks like potentially high ground, I don't think the center has any high ground, so there's no advantage for either side here. But for now, Barracks is, well, okay, the starport finally gets scouted on the left side, but Barracks has decided that he can no longer deal damage or do harassment, so he's going to try and split the map now. And starport may end up dying. You got to remember, Wraith, or Mong has a Wraith, so he can come in here and knock it down.
That expansion is going to be taken for Barracks at the 12 o'clock, so that is very interesting. I mean, normally you take your expansion at the 3 o'clock side to farther distance to your opponent, but I guess he likes to expand towards somewhere closer. And the thing we have to know is these two raids are still doing some great work, but he spots the dropship.
Yeah, I can tell you Mong does not like that depot next to his command center. Like, it's just preventing that Goliath from getting in range of that Wraith. So the Wraith picks off like 2 additional SCVs, just being annoying. Now he's trying to find the dropship that he saw a minute ago, and he overstepped a little bit. He's going to lose 1 Wraith, and Mong is actually the one with dropship advantage. It's 2, and I think only 1 for Barracks right now, and his starport's floating, so he can't build any more additionally. And if Mong gets a whiff of top middle, this could be a dead base. I mean, this is even far forward. Like, this is towards Mong, right? Like, it's on Mong's side of the map.
And Mong does have that 2 dropship, and he's going to be seeing that 2 siege tank will be taking down the supply depot. So now Mong is probably, he really needs to think what exactly he really wants to do, but he's going to be using that 2 dropship. Oh, he saw that 2 he saw those command center.
Oh, but look at this. Barracks has a huge attack going through the center of the map. So we're going to get into a weird scenario where Mong's harassing top middle, but potentially Barracks can just knock down the natural. Oh, I forgot about this. I mean, this is low ground. It's not like blockchain, so he can just come in here from the side and easily clean up this army.
Mong does have these 5 dropships constantly unloading. He did lose the single siege tank, but 4 siege tanks are going to be still doing some work here.
Yeah, but Mong with that repositioning of another unload of drops on the high ground means he's going to overlook the third base of Barracks, and now all of a sudden Mong's up a base. Barracks can't push through here, and he still has no answer to the dropships. So Barracks is in trouble. Actually, Mong can unload onto the natural right now if he wanted.
But this is not looking great for Barracks. I mean, these 3 dropships just gonna be taking this high ground 4 siege tank with the couple Goliath. Yeah, they're gonna be standing or seizing at the top side. So now that siege tank is out of range. Okay, it is 1 siege tank is in range but gets picked off. Those 3 tanks are going to be doing some great work, targeting on the SCV line.
Yeah, you can see him focusing those SCVs in the middle. He gets off big hits. He's up to 9 kills on that single tank. 10. They're still racking up kills. And there's also a mine setup, I think, for Mong. Oh,
wow,
no,
17.
Wow, that is a ton of kill. But a secondary drop coming in, the mine may end up saving Mong or saving Barracks here.
And this is high ground siege tank from for Mong, and Mong is just doing absolutely great with this dropship play. I mean, he's very great how well he's defending, and these 3 dropships are just constantly drawing the attention. But the frontal line not going to be okay. Barracks is unsieging. Is he gonna be breaking it? Can he?
He's gonna go for it. This is so many tanks. This is 5 tanks. I mean, he may be able to bust through it, but he's gonna take a lot of losses. And Barracks, I mean, this is Barracks or Mong's rally point, so he'll be able to just push in here, use the Goliath, and he's going to clean up all these tanks. He may end up losing all of his Goliaths too, but this was a worthwhile trade for Mong.
I like how he pulled his Goliath right next to the siege tank, so those siege tank shot from Barracks can do the splash damage to do the team kill on his own siege tank, and very good play from there. And Mong does have that +1 weapon upgrade. Oh, that spider bite does trigger and picks up another siege tank, but these terrain, should I say terrain, but I guess the neutral building is taken down, so that base is just pretty much isolated. He can't really go without the dropship.
Yeah, and I love what Mong's doing here. He's got position at top, so he's going to take the base behind it. And it looks like he's forgot that he already built the command center. No. Well, if the tanks and vultures can't do it for Barracks, he feels like that SCV might be able to get a kill, but not able to knock down that.
Wow.
Whoa, that's a lot of command centers. He's got 6 command centers, man, but 2 of them are floating.
Well, Mong does have lots of command center because he does have lots of mineral, but he really needs to split up some army at the center of the map. Maybe somehow he can take it. But okay, that starport is blinking at the bottom left. But at the same time, what about his natural? The natural seems vulnerable. Does he have siege tank?
He just has a couple, but yeah, that could have been a vulnerable position. But I think he's worried about what's actually loaded up in the drops. And actually, Barracks has a lot of race. I don't know where those came from because remember his starport's floating bottom left. So the dropships can get picked off if Mong's not paying attention. And I think he saw it with the scan, so you can see his dropships are trying to hide right now.
Yeah, there are another starport at the main base making more wraith here. And I wonder if Mong knows about the wraith. Maybe he does know about it. Maybe that could be the one other reason why he's putting additional missile turret. But we are seeing Barracks is just constantly bringing all those army. But what is that command center doing at the center of the map?
Yeah, what is that doing? And it looks like Barracks wants to attack the entrance, but Mong's just got too much stuff there, and I'm sure Barracks is confused at what that command center is also. But this is what I was wondering. Is anybody going to try and attack the mid base from the low ground? Because it looked like you could range it.
And this base is going to be getting defended. Tanking, shooting on the... Wow, that's a lot of Goliath, what I'm seeing.
Yeah, that is a ton of Goliaths, but unfortunately Goliaths don't have the longest range, so the tanks will be able to kill those. The tanks are not in range of the command center, so Mong's going to save that base. And I'm looking at supplies. Mong's almost up 40 supply at this point. Barracks is starting to take his right side of the map, so he's on 4 bases also, but he's just got a massive deficit in supply.
He found a weak spot here. The natural is vulnerable, and he's unloading those Goliath, a couple of siege tanks, doing the shot, and this natural is completely getting wrecked.
Yeah, and with Mong being in a position like this, where he's overlooking the high ground and the rally point, you gotta feel like this is Mong's moment to try and just seal the deal. But Barracks is coming in with a lot of tanks himself. Not sure if either player has the +2 power spike, but you can see even with just 3 tanks on the high ground, Mong traded quite well. But the Wraiths are actually going to save the day now. Only +1 for Mong and +2 for Barracks. Oh, that is a ton of dropships.
Yeah, tons of dropships are incoming. Wraiths are out of position, and those dropships are moving across the map. And he finally, he found it because of the spider mines there. But okay, he's just gonna be unloading over here. That's a lot of siege tank, what I'm seeing.
that was a smart unload from Mong. Not overcommitting, because if he did, he probably would have lost every single dropship there. So nice, intelligent move there. But now these units are kind of in an awkward position. I don't know if he can ever reinforce this spot. There's actually not a lot of Goliaths here also. I think there's like 10 Wraiths. I realize 5 Goliaths can beat 10 Wraiths, but if they take any shots from a tank, easily these Wraiths could knock those down.
Oh my god. Now the third expansion for Barracks is going to be vulnerable here. And those siege tanks are, and even Goliath. Okay, now Mong does have the +2 weapon upgrade, and these siege tank with the Goliaths are going to be very powerful against these raids. And also Barracks' siege tank picking up all those SCV, and those siege tank with the Goliaths has done so much of a work here.
Yeah, now I was not expecting those units to fit through. Like, if you kill the assimilator, doesn't it stop units from getting through, or is that not the case?
Well, the simulator size and the Vespene Geyser size are two different sizes, and if you are taking down those one of the assimilated, then large unit cannot go through, but the medium size and the small units can go through. However, if you kill both of the Vespene Geysers, then even including the small units like Zergling and Ghost, they cannot go through it also.
Yeah, that's what I thought. So that was a big mistake there to not take down the assimilator, but I'm not sure if it matters because Mong just has such a huge supply lead. He's breaching the natural again, and the third base ended up getting just outright killed. So Barracks is down to 1 base. These Wraiths need to save the day, but there's just too many Goliaths. 11 Wraiths are not enough to take down this Goliath count, and Mong still has 4 bases. He's got the bottom left side of the map too. Well, for now it's been denied, but look how many drops there. It's just endless drop ships over and over.
I really like how well he can use those dropship, even though if Barracks has those raids, but these raids are getting some pick up there.
Yep, there it is, GG. So nice comeback from Mong. He took a lot of damage from the vultures, and it was solid play from Barracks, but in the end, just a little bit too strong positional play from Mong. And now we've got a series. It's 1-1, and Mong's looking really good going into game 3.
That's so incredible how well Mong was playing for the... Wait, what is he pulling? Oh, he's pulling... Oh, he's eating ABC chocolate. He's eating
that Rush's? That's Rush's go-to chocolate, isn't it?
Yeah, Rush is the go-to chocolate, and he's also eating some chocolate before he goes into the last game of this losers match. If he loses this game, then Mong gets eliminated. One of the players has to get eliminated. I wonder what Barracks is going to be doing on the Neo Sylphid. Both of the players know, and they're both familiar with this map, so I'm pretty sure this is going to be something like a skill matchup.
So game 3, Sylphid. This is for all the marbles, and in the top left or top middle we have Mong, and in the mid left we have Barracks. Now, thinking about how Barracks has played in the first 2 games, we had the 10-10-10 on Butter. We had a weird 2-fact just now. I actually think Barracks is not going to play weird this game. I think he's going to play normal or greedy, and because of that, I would love to see Mong 8 racks. Because I think there's a high chance that Barracks could go for 14cc or something. I don't know what your thoughts are, but that's what I'm feeling like a good counterplay could be for Mong.
Well, for me, when I look at this TVT on Neo Sylphid, I am going to be expecting one of the player, or maybe both of them will go for 2 Marine with the vulture pressure. You know, I don't know if you have played against Shiny on ladder that many games, but you know how Artos is always saying about Shiny always go for 2 Marine, Vulture Pressure into 2 Factory Goliath follow-up. And I think one of the players will be doing that strategy.
Well, we could see it, but it's not going to be Barracks because this is going to be another 10-10-10 play from him. So this is another weird opener from him. It definitely would have caught me off guard because I thought this was going to be him mixing it up, being greedy, but this is just going to be potentially another 2-fact. And Mong, he's going to open normally. He's going for a normal Rax. Will he go for gasless though? He is queuing SCV. Oh no, he's not.
And we see Mong both went for 12 refinery, and Barracks has gone for 10-10-10 once again. And I wonder what the next follow-up is after this first factory being placed.
Yeah, we're going to have to keep a look on how many SCVs are on gas for Barracks. Because remember, in the Butter game, when he opened like this, he kept 2 on gas, and he ended up going into double factory. I wonder if he'll leave 3 on gas and go into something like double starport.
Yeah,
All right, now tell me, that depot, I got to ask you about that depot. Does that depot at top middle actually help the mining? Did you see where Mong put it?
Yeah, I saw, but how was it mining? I wasn't looking at it carefully because I was looking at Barracks' build order here because he has gone for the 14 factory. How was it mining?
It looked like it was bouncing to me, right there. I am not sure if that actually helps Mong mine there, but I know you're very keen on optimal mining.
Well, maybe I'll test it after the ASL cast, but we are seeing Barracks is going to be scout first at Mong's base, and I feel like Mong has enough gas to put down on the factory. Look at him. Oh! Yeah, I think this is going to be a 2-fact opening for Mong. Can it be?
Yeah, it's got the gas. It looks like he's got a read on Barracks. Barracks wants to play, you know, weird openers, so he's going to match the weird opener with a 2-fact himself. Barracks has not proxied a factory anywhere. There's no SCV hidden out on the map, or additional one hidden out on... Oh, is that a center fact?
Ooh.
He gets in, he sees there's no command center.
Yeah, no command center, and Barracks did not lift up his Barracks, so Mong is going to be feeling something weird about this Barracks' strategy, because he's immediately sending out another scouting SCV because he probably have watched the replay. Hey, on Butter, you did the proxy factory. I'm gonna look for another proxy factory again.
Yeah, and Barracks, of course, aware of that, so he puts it in the center of the map this time. And I think Mong's response here is exactly what you need. You need 2-fact yourself. He's got better econ, but he may lose 2 SCVs. He's got to keep that in mind. Right now they have even vulture count. Barracks still hasn't shown exactly what this is, so we may see armory coming in for Mong in case it is starport, but he finds the second fact and he finds the add-on.
Well, I feel like Barracks is going to be go for the attack move here, but will he be? I'm quite not sure, but Mong does have 4 vulture with the 2 marine, and now he's gonna be going for a move out here. Maybe not. Okay, maybe he's just waiting until Barracks is going to be attacking him first. But I guess he will be waiting until he has a 5-6 vulture.
I think Mong's got to go right now because he saw the add-on being built, and more than likely the add-on's being built in the main of Barracks. But instead, he doesn't go fast enough. Now it's gonna be 5 vultures, 2 marines versus 3 marines, 2 vultures, and probably 2 tanks. But is there enough?
Look at that vulture arc. I think he wants to surround the siege tank. Look at that! Look at that!
He's getting all the marines, but
he opened it.
Tanks are so tanky, man. Like, it's 3 vultures, 2 marines versus 2 tanks and 2 vultures. And now Mong's got to run. He's going to try and go for a counterattack, but these are damaged 3 vultures. And remember, there's still 2 vultures supporting these 2 tanks for Barracks, so this is a big counterplay.
Well, from what I know, Siege tank has range 7, the range is 7, and the range is 6. So as long as Barracks is just kiting those Siege tank well enough, then this is going to be a win for Barracks. And if he does not kite really well, but the thing we have to know, the Goliath speed is much faster than Siege tank. So now Siege mode is done.
I was actually really surprised to see siege mode there. I thought that he was going to get mines and try and bait the Goliath into mines, but not the case. Now that's definitely got to be for mines, because what else could it be? But these Goliaths and Vultures are onto the factory. Vulture pops out. It's going to die. Goliath might end up dying too, though. And, you know, Vulture Goliath doesn't beat Tank Vulture. So, okay, well, maybe if you have 3 factories, it will. But this puts Mong completely all in. I mean, Barracks, I mean, he's not necessarily not all in either, but I like his comp better, especially with mines.
That Barracks is just going to be survived, and I think Mong might gonna be getting eliminated. Look at how those number of siege tanks are constantly coming, and SCVs are also here to repair. Okay, now Barracks is going to be losing that Barracks. He needs to be very careful. He does have that spider mine placed down at the left side of the map as well, but those 2 vultures somehow sneaked out. But I don't think Barracks realized of it.
Yeah, slowly creeping across the map is Barracks, but he only has 2 tanks. But there's a lot of mine support. There's still no comsat for Mong, so he has no way to actually know where any of the mines are. All he knows is that tanks are on his doorstep. Vulture counterattack is going to get into the main. This is going to draw a lot of the attention away from Barracks. So if Mong wants to go, this is the time to go, because everything is focused in the main for Barracks right now.
Well, Barracks, he really needs to take a look at his main base. I mean, these 2 vultures are doing some great work here, but at the same time, Mong is rotating his army.
He's swooping around, and it went unscouted. And that's, if he swoops around, he can kill the factory. Then all of a sudden, it's 1 factory production versus 3 fact Goliath. I realize Goliaths don't beat tanks, but there's not a lot of actual production for Barracks anymore. This is going to trigger an all-in, so we're going to have base trade scenario. The question is, does Mong have enough?
Well, I think Mong is just going to be waiting additional army coming. But the spider mines, okay. Yeah, he does have 6 collide, including the center of the map is 11, so that's total 17 collide. But will Barracks... Okay, those SCVs are getting picked off here, but now these collides... Okay, the vulture reinforcement now has come.
Yeah, but they're not able to buffer really at all. The tanks are all going to fall. The vultures all fall. The vultures in the main have racked up a lot of kills, but they have not dealt the amount of damage that he needed. Now he's going to go for a counterattack. There's still a lot of mines set up, but there's so many Goliaths here. Okay, that's good connection. He kills 4 Goliaths with just a handful of mines. But again, the problem is he has 1 fact production.
Wait, what happened to the center of the center factory?
It died to all those Goliaths.
It died?
Yeah, it's dead.
Well, I wonder how Barracks is going to be defending, because he lost his Barracks. Okay, that spider mine is still buying some time, but the thing we have to know is Barracks has 2 base up and running.
Yeah, he's trying to just get anything up so he can try and mess up the AI of the Goliaths. This is so many Goliaths, but if any of these mines connect, 2 tanks plus SCVs will probably kill them. So,
ooh, nice
he's got scan. I didn't even know he had scan, but here he comes. I don't know if he can even bust this.
Oh my god.
Oh my god, he lost 3 Goliaths in a single mine shot. And Mong, who was up 20, 30 supply a moment ago, now it's even supply, and Barracks is up a command center.
I think Mong really needs to stop making the Goliath. I mean, Goliaths are not that great breaking that siege tank line, and now Barracks is done. He's almost done recovering. He does have decent amount of SCP at the main base and the natural at the same time. Now he does put down the 2nd factory at the main, and Mong does not have the 2nd base running.
Yeah, no 2nd base, pure Goliath versus tank vulture. I mean, if you have an overwhelming amount of Goliaths, you can win that, but when the guy's just sitting there, you're not going to be able to attack into it. And now Mong's going to turn around because he sees 3 vultures going for a counterattack. He just has nothing there. If Mong had gone into tanks and just forced to contain, maybe that could have been a better follow-up. But now he's got vultures in his main. SCVs are racking, or the vultures are racking up SCV kills.
That SCV drill is doing some work, but losing more SCV for Mong is not going to be looking that pretty. Now we are seeing Mong is making the counter vulture here to have some map control with the spider mine probably at the center of the map. And now we see Barracks is putting down the starport, 3 factory starport follow-up, but I don't see armory yet for Barracks.
Yep, no armory, but it doesn't matter because there's no starports. He doesn't need any Goliaths I mean, weapon upgrade would be great, but not a huge deal because of how weird the game has been. That SCV count looks just really shockingly low for Mong. Maybe around 24, I would guess. Barracks is up 10 supply now, so Mong, who had an opportunity, I think, with the single factory, or with Barracks only having a single factory, well, that window has come and gone, because now it's 4 fact, plus starport, plus armories, plus academy coming down.
Yeah, he does have a lot of resources to put down any building whenever he wants to put, and there are just totally about 6 to 7 SCV at the natural for Mong, so Mong is definitely poor on this game, but I don't know how he can make a comeback.
Yeah, he just doesn't have a good comp. It would be different if half of these Goliaths were tanks, but the fact that it's literally pure Goliath, I mean, this is just not an army that's strong at all. And he's not going to get into position for contain quick enough, so Barracks is going to push out. He's very close to triggering mines, but not going to get any connections just yet.
Oh, these tanks are very smart. They know how to push and kill those spider mines, but now we are seeing those siege tank line to defend that contain, and now Mong is just going to be calculating. He's calculating the range, but miscalculated the range, picking up the single siege tank, and now we'll be picking up another siege tank.
Yeah, this was still a pretty good trade for Mong though, but okay, now he's going to lose his 3 tanks for just 2. Good control there from Barracks.
Yeah, both of the players are just playing really well with the siege tank micro, and Barracks does have the control tower being added. I think those 2 vulture with the single siege tank at the natural is about to load up the drop inside of the dropship. I hear something loading up, and dropship that head off to 11 o'clock.
Yeah, and we know that Barracks was really successful with drops on Nemesis, and just looking at the mini-map, it doesn't seem like Mong has anything in his main. I just saw a cycle of units come out, so that's unfortunate for him that nothing's going to be in his main, because vultures are about to drop in just a second, and this is going to be Barracks drawing the attention to the top side, and probably go for an attempted bust in the center of the map. 1 tank, 2 vultures. It's not as big of a drop. Oh, well, I didn't see that vulture. Vulture into the natural at the same time. Could rack up a few kills.
Yeah, I hear those SCVs are getting killed at the Mong's main base, and now these spider mines will be able to clear those siege tank, but Mong is just having so much of a difficulty.
Yeah, now the problem for Mong is he's going to have to deal with constant dropship production and potential drop in his main, while also having to deal with this, you know, push through the center. Like, he's trying to set up a contain himself, but he just can't. And if he gives up the contain, well, Barracks is going to contain him. That's a fantastic mine hit, and he is going to kill both of these tanks.
Yeah, that was a wonderful hit for Mong. And I mean, now Barracks does have that third base going up, so Mong really needs to figure out how exactly he wants to make the flip the table around. Now he's going to be calculating the siege tank range, picking up Mong's siege tank, and now Mong needs to unsiege his siege tank from main base to pull to the center of the map. Never mind, he won't be. He will be now. Yeah, he does, and there are still 3 Goliaths are waiting at the main base, but 2 dropship are looking for the weak spot to unload.
Yeah, I'm surprised there's only 2 drops. I thought there would have been more by now, but if he can get up 3 or 4, I think a drop into the main would just probably end the game. We see 5 or 5th and 6th factory coming in, maybe even a 7th setting up. Barracks building his 3rd command center on that, you know, close 3rd base. Doesn't have the most mineral patches or full gas there, but it's still additional income for him. He's trying to push through the center. This could be a little bit of an overextension, though. Meanwhile, Mong, he's got enough money to put down to 3rd base himself. I mean, Mong's got manageable supply. It's 110 to 90, so it's not like he's out of it just yet. The problem are these pesky drops. There is a mine there. If it can trigger, oh, it does not trigger, and all that's left to defend is 2 Goliaths. We've got 4 vultures trying to clean up, but not able to get any mine connections. The focus fire from Barracks is good. Finally gets a connection there, and he does clean it up. So Mong again going to survive this drop.
I'm surprised how well Mong is able, like Mong, every time Mong is able to defend of this Barracks' harassment.
Yeah, it is impressive that he's able to manage the center of the map while also defending. But it looks like Barracks may have finally found an opening, and he has closed the gap instantly. Look at this. He's got a massive contain outside the natural now. There is a small task force for Mong in the center, but there's no way to meet up with this army anymore. He doesn't have drops himself, so this is it. Just those 3 tanks and 4 Goliaths. That's all he has to defend mid-right.
Yeah, that right side of the expansion is pretty much isolated, and now this siege tank are going to, oh okay, those bottom side of the siege tanks are going to be doing some work here, picking up some siege tank. Okay, targeting on this vulture, that was a mistake.
Yeah, big mistake there. So he loses all of his tanks while getting no tanks in return. And this looks like Barracks is moments away from taking the game. He knows that the mid-right base is up, and there's no defense over there, so he's just going to make sure that he's got a good, strong contain outside of the natural and just swoop over to the right side. Once this falls, it's going to be 4 base Terran versus just 2 base Terran from Mong with basically a mined out main. And this is, he must hold this, otherwise the game ends. You can see he's desperate, trying to push out with these tanks, but there's just too many tanks for Barracks. There it is, GG, and that means that Mong is going to be eliminated, and we're going to have Barracks facing off versus Shine in the Deciders match.
Incredible play of these 2 players, and we can see Mong is completely sweat up after that best of 3 series. And yeah, unfortunately we get to see the first player of this round of 16 who's getting the first player who's getting the eliminated on this round of 16. That is going to be Mong, unfortunately, and Barracks survives, and he will be moving down to final. And I wonder how well he's going to be performing in this TVZ matchup.
Yeah, but Mong played well. I think, I don't really think he made many mistakes. I think he played quite well in the series, just Barracks played a little bit better today. I'm happy to see a 2-fact work in Terran versus Terran, because almost every game you play on ladder these days is expansion builds, and it is nice to see something else actually be successful. So I'm curious to see on the ladder if I'm going to run into 2-facts in the near future. But we've got Barracks versus Shine. What do you think about Barracks' chances versus Shine? Because every time we've seen Barracks play Terran versus Zerg, he's gone for Goliath and he's died to Lurkers, and that's how Shine has opened every game.
Well, about 2 months ago. Okay, we are going to be coming back after this commercial break, and see you guys soon.
We are back, and we're getting into the final series of the day, Barracks versus Shine. Mong was just eliminated, so unfortunately his ASL is done. Light's already moved on, so we've got our first finalist into the round of 8. And this should be exciting. Barracks has got good Terran versus Zerg, but every time we see him play Terran versus Zerg, he goes for the Goliath play, the delayed Goliath play, and just ends up getting killed off by a lurker timing.
Yeah, I'm taking a look at this Shine's camera. I mean, Shine doesn't seem that great. I mean, maybe he's feeling sick, or maybe he's just not feeling great about his today's performance. I mean, in terms of strategy-wise, I mean, he actually won 2-0 against Light, but that one single mistake, not making any Devour nor sending an Overlord, just pretty much triggered him.
Yeah, conceptual win for sure for Shine, 2-0 over Light, but here he is in the Deciders match, and we do have our players ready. I saw Odyssey and Nemesis both get through, so we've got 2 weird maps. Okay, in the top right are Terran, it is Barracks, and again in the bottom left on Odyssey, it is Shine. Now he already showed his clever move versus Light. I wonder what he's got as a backup plan for Barracks here on Odyssey.
Yeah, Odyssey. I wasn't thinking of the map was going to be Odyssey, but I wonder if Shine is going to do the same strategy and see whether it is going to be working out well or whatnot. But we are seeing here one guy, Barracks' fan. You can do it, Barracks.
Yeah, I definitely think he can do it. But Shine's looking really darn good today. I mean, we saw in the profile stats that Zerg versus Terran is not his best matchup, but he's done quite well in all the games today. I think there was only just one where he kind of fell short, but overall he's played quite exceptional in ZVT. Now we've got an interesting placement of that depot. This is going to be a semi-wall because there is going to be a little gap at the top side. Players that I've seen do this that come to mind are Ample. He really loves to do stuff like this on maps like Circuit Breaker, and for the first time all day long we're going to see Shine finally get aggressive here with an overpool.
Overpool. Interesting. Maybe he has felt something like Proxy 8 racks opening from Barracks, because Barracks is the type of player, I mean, he showed all those 3 games. He played super offensive. One base opening all those 3 games. Neo Sylphid, Nemesis, and what was it called? The Butter. So he probably felt something uncomfortable playing against this guy, 12 hatchery opening, so he decided to go with the overpull.
Yeah, and I think that's a good opener if you're feeling like you're going to get 8 racks. And, you know, we already saw somebody 8 racks in previous rounds. I think it was Royal versus Miso, who ended up 8 racksing, and Miso got greedy with a 3 hatch. So I do think this is an intelligent move from Shine, and Barracks going to come in here and see that the hatchery is late, and that means that, of course, Shine has built a fast pool. But critically, Barracks is going to see that there's no gas in the main, so again, it's going to be a 3 hatch follow-up.
And once again, we are going to see Drone Micro just hitting on the... Okay, gotta be careful. That drone is dangerously low HP. And now those Zergling needs to head off, and we see Shine still does not have that extractor started at the main base, and we are seeing... Okay, yeah, Barracks is just going to be scouting whether Shine is going to be taking that the behind expansion or whatnot, but yeah, that drone is still chasing. I guess Shine really wants to hide his information as much as possible.
Well, Barracks needs to get those SCVs in position. Okay, now he does clog it up, and that means that these Lings really should do no damage. So this was a really good opener for Barracks. I mean, it doesn't get any better than this. You open with a wall, and the guy goes overpool, does absolutely no damage. I mean, I guess you pulled 2 SCVs, but now he can pull both of them off if he wants, because he has so many Marines here to defend. He does leave one just in case Shine got a little bit overly aggressive building Lings, and we do have command center follow-up.
I'm curious why Shine did not put down the hatchery yet. I mean, if he was going to be taking that the behind expansion, why not just send that drone much earlier in the early stage of the game, and then maybe take it down super fast to put down the 3rd hatchery? But yeah, now Barracks is going to be scouting and sees, oh yeah, you're taking that expansion.
Alright, well, Barracks is moving out with 5 Marines, and I imagine that this can't do much. But this is Odyssey. Maybe there's some weird intricacy of this map that he can exploit with the Marines. There are bridges, which limit surface area. But for now, it looks like he is just going to move out, force some units, and back off. And behind this, we are going to have a 2 racks. So for the first time all day long, really, well, 2 racks Academy, because we did see 2 racks from Light on Sylphid, but it was still an eBay follow-up. But first time all day, we're going to see a Marine Medic rush.
And we see Shine immediately making a second extractor at the natural. So most likely Shine is probably going to go for the Spartak whatsoever. But I wonder how exactly Barracks is going to be getting the damage done, or it maybe like hurt some eco in the early stage of the game with this M&M. But now those are the 6-7 Marines are out on the map against these 7 Zergling.
He's going to be careful. A lot of times speed is kicking in around this time, but he, I guess, has a 6th sense and realizes that, okay, well, I can push out with these 6 Marines, take limited risk, and he didn't take any damage there, so he's going to have about 10 Marines and 2 medics in just a second, and he'll be moving out, and he'll see that really there's not a lot of defense for Shine right now. There's, I think, just 8 Lings, a single Sunken. I mean, you can pop that with this amount of Marine Medic.
Yeah, M&Ms are moving out, and now there are 7 Zergling. There was one more Zergling at the main base, but I guess he Shine totally forgot about his Zergling at the main. But these 7 Zerglings are just going to be constantly watching how fast the M&Ms are coming. Okay, he's just trying to scare him off. Putting down another Kree colony. The second Sunken colony will be completed soon.
That's a lot of Sunkens. A lot of times I see Zergs building only 2, but the fact that he built... Okay, well, he's going to stem in. I guess he feels like he can bust 2 Sunkens, and he was right. I would have not done this, but he's going to kill both Sunkens. He's going to kill off almost all the drones. This might just be over, man. There's no mutas out. There it is, GG. Just a standard move out, and he crushes through.
Wow, I mean, that was a unfortunate decision making for Shine. I mean, he didn't invest he didn't invest the money for the Zergling speed to like scare him off, but it just, things did not work out well. I mean, overpull is definitely poor compared to the 12 hatchery opening, and things are just not working out well here, and Barracks is just playing really well. I mean, he did learn some lesson from 2 months ago. Light gave him some coaching session about 3 hours long, and he did learn lots of stuff in TVZ and TVP.
Yeah, and if you guys have not checked that out, you should try and find it on YouTube. Even if you can't understand Korean, you can just kind of figure out some of the things Light is talking about. For example, he was mentioning on Polypoid like how to position your tank on the 3rd base high ground to cover your 4th base. He's like talking about put a single tank here and it can cover your 3rd and your 4th. Definitely check that out if you're a Terran player. It has a lot of insight, even if you can't understand Korean. But now Barracks is 1 game away from making it out, and Shine, who looked all day long very good versus Terran, all of a sudden he takes his first real hit there. Just a devastating loss on Odyssey, and now he's on Nemesis, another weird map. Right in the bottom right, having his best ASL run to date. 1 game away from the round of 8. It is Barracks. Oh, we've got Shine with the 4 pool, and this is obviously all in. 5 pools can be transitioned out of in something like Zerg versus Protoss, but Zerg versus Terran, you don't transition out of a 5 pool even. So if you're gonna early pool, this is what you do. It is a 4 pool. It is high ground advantage for Shine. So this is really hard for Terran to deal with.
35-second pull, and let's see what Barracks is going to be deciding to do. He's just working on the optimization. He's sending out a SCV before...
That's an 8 racks timing.
Well, looks like it is going to be ARAX.
It's over. Can you even hold this with an 8-rack? Well, not with a barracks that far forward.
I know a single Marine can actually go inside of the main base to hold up. I have tested this 8-racks versus 4 pull, and when I was in JSA team and doing some like the university battle and teaching the student like Terran versus Zerg matchup, and we were try to like give her lots of lessons about how you must be responding to every single Zerg's opening, like the 4 pull, 5 pull, 9 pull, over pull, 12 hatchery, and so on. And we figured out 4 pull can be actually held as long as you send that first Marine inside of your main base and put down the bunker immediately. If Barracks ever extends to wait until the second Marines to be coming out, then he will be losing.
Yeah, he must scout first. Okay, he's going to double scout, so I guess there is a chance that he can hold this, but the Marine has to go into the main, and he has to insta-build the bunker. Also, if the Lings don't go bot, oh my gosh, does he miss it? Okay, he sees the Lings. He sees 2, and he knows that this is way too fast. This can only be a 4 pull. Oh, you can't build it there. He's going to have to pull so many SCVs, which he is. Maybe he can get it up. I've just never seen anybody be able to hold this with an 8-rex. Oh, there's only 3 Lings.
I don't like this decision making. Oh no! I don't like this decision making. This is going to be a crucial moment for Barracks making a very wrong decision making here. This second Marine, he waited, and the third Marine is just getting killed.
Yep, and it dies, and that's probably it. The Lings took a lot of damage to the SCVs, but it just doesn't matter. He's going to lose his entire mineral or entire SCV line, and Shine, he evens up the score 1-1. But Barracks, like Barracks is devastated by that. Look at that. He's all sunken in his chair right now.
Yeah, he probably took a look at the replay. Oh, yeah, I saw the pull. I saw the Ling was coming. Probably maybe he missed. I mean, if you're practicing, you probably thought that it's 4 pull. But whenever you're playing on the stage game, you're on your nerves on like at the point, like adrenaline is all going up, and you may make some mistake here. Decision making was completely wrong. He probably thought that was a 9 pull from Shine, so he wanted to put down the bunker at the natural to defend, but it did not work out well.
Yeah, just a bit of a misread there, and that could be costly because now Shine has another life in this tournament. You don't want to give Shine another life because this is best of 1 basically right now. This is make or break for both players, and Shine is very dangerous in situations like this. Now we've got a standard map. It's butter. Let's see what both of our players got planned. In the bottom right, our red Terran, it is Barracks. And in the top right, with a deadly 4 pool last game, it is Shine. And you were right about the 8-racks. That Marine was way faster than I anticipated, and even the second Marine was almost out. So yeah, Barracks has got to be kicking himself for letting that one get away. But now he's on a more normal map. I think he'll be feeling a bit more comfortable.
I wonder what Barracks is going to be doing in this game, because I mean he got 4 pull rush from the last game and over pull from the first game, and probably for Shine he's probably going to be feeling something great. I mean, he tested out against Barracks that Barracks wasn't playing 8-racks whatsoever. Okay, he did, yeah, of course he did play the 8-racks, but he probably going to be assuming Barracks cannot do the 8-racks once again. So I'm going to be assuming Shine this time will go for 12 hatchery with the mind game there.
Well, we're going to have a semi-wall from Barracks again. I thought for sure he was going to wall, but I thought it was going to be in the main, like what Light did in the first game of the day. But not going to be the case. He's feeling confident that semi-wall is enough versus Shine, and he's going to be right this time around. There's no early pool, at least not just yet. We still have option for a 12 pool, but not really the most common build from Zerg players. And there goes that Rax.
Yeah, Barracks is going up, and Not a fantastic wall, I would say, but still decent enough to make the gap smaller. And now we are going to see Barracks is going for the 12 scout and standard opening from Barracks, and I'm going to be assuming this is going to be a skill matchup of these two players, best of 1 series.
Yep, and I am paying close attention to Shine's gas. We see the pool come down. We don't see any movement from the drones towards the extractor. So again, we're gonna have another 3-hatch play most likely, unless that gas gets put down within the next 5 seconds or so. Barracks is gonna complete. I didn't see an additional depot, or I think there is an additional depot in the main, so he's not gonna go, command center off of no marines. It is gonna be more normal, like 1 or 2 marine opener into command center.
So annoying to see that drone is chasing that SCV and constantly hitting on that SCV, and interesting to see for Barracks that he's cutting off that SCV production. He's making that 2 marine production into a command center.
Yeah, he's been sitting at 18 supply for quite a while. I am a little bit surprised that he did cut, like you said, and the 2 marines did sneak out, sort of. They're kind of hiding to the side right now. And there's the 3rd hatch in the main for Shine. So pretty much exactly what we've seen almost all day long.
Yeah, Shine really loves to go for macro hatch playstyle here. And probably Barracks was expecting Shine would have been sending that overload all the way across to the left side instead of the right side, like at the natural. But that overload, I did not know. That's a nice spot to put and see what exactly Barracks is doing.
Yep, this is the sweet spot for the Lings. And I like how Barracks is not going for the Goliath play that he showed in previous ASLs, because all day long Shine has shown Hydra openers, and that's a really good counter to Goliath play. So I really do like to see that we're having a second Barracks come up. Academy coming in just a second, I'm sure. There it is, 340-ish Academy, so pretty much a normal Academy timing. Or again, we're going to have another Marine push around the 5:15, 5:30 mark.
And those Marines are just going to be standing, but I feel like that's a lot of Marine from what I'm seeing. Maybe this is going to be another 10 Marine with the 2 medic follow-up pressure from Barracks. And yeah, there are 6, and this is going to be the even number Marine count for the next round of the macro, the production. And the scouting SCV somehow gets inside of Shine's main base, and he sees the lair tech at the net, and no Zergling production from those eggs.
Yeah, and he also critically saw there's no Hydrogen, so this may be the first game all day long where Shine actually goes into Spire. I still don't see a Hydrogen anywhere, so this really does look like it's going to be Spire, and it is both. I was wondering why we didn't see an instant Spire once the lair finished, and that's because he wanted to go for a little bit of a fake here, or potential fake. But Marine Medic already moving out. Sunken Colony just started.
Okay, I just heard the Hydroden being cancelled. Yeah, the Hydroden building is just gone at the main base, so now I guess Shine does not want to die against this first Eminem pressure. I don't know how many Marine counts there are, but these Firebat are coming from across the map, but 1 Firebat will get picked up, but 2 Sunken Colony this time. I think Barracks is not going to be stopping, but additional Zerglings are popping out.
This time it's probably going to backfire. Yeah, he needs to run, but this is a lot of Lings. I don't know if he can hold it. Oh, but Shine didn't sync up his army. Those Lings in the back, sure, they caught like 1 Marine, but he's not able to sync up his army, so this giant army towards the natural will be able to get away with its life.
Yeah, those 5 Zerglings are still buying some time, and additional Zerglings across the map to the right side, and now they are synced up. Maybe this army will be able to eat up these M&M.
Doesn't look like it's enough Lings to actually do that, so he will be able to save maybe 8 out of the 12.
Okay, yeah, Shine got supply block earlier, 43, but now he just got 2 more additional Overlord to make these Mutalists, and now we see +1 weapon upgrade on the way for Barracks, and now Barracks is putting down the missile turret. I personally want to know how exactly Barracks will be putting down the missile turret at the natural, because every time whenever I play on this on this map, the natural expansion is so hard to defend for, and I don't know how to put down the missile turret too.
Yeah, I also wonder how he's going to defend this gap right there that you can see between the main and the natural. It just seems so hard. But that's a ton of turrets, man. That's 5 turrets at his nat. It didn't really look like there's that many SCVs at his nat, though. So maybe Barracks cut a little bit too much. I mean, what's that? 9 SCVs? It seems quite low. Meanwhile, Shine, he's going straight into Hive, and he does not have a third base yet. I thought he had a hatch going up at top left, but not the case.
Mutilas are coming, but he wasn't expecting that would have been a 3 missile turret up there. But one single turret above the command center is out of range, and those 2 missile turrets will fall. And now Barracks' main base is going to be vulnerable here, losing lots of SCV, and that's a completely sweet spot for Zerg to do some mass damage. But here's the counterattack. Does Shine know about this? And the answer is yes, he does know about it, but does he have enough sunken?
Yeah, but does he have enough sunken, and is he too late to come back? That Ling movement right there bought Barracks bought Shine a couple more seconds, and that's all he needed, because now the mutas are here. He will be able to defend the counterattack, and that muta attack into the main really did a lot of damage. Like, I don't see a factory anywhere, do you? So
no,
this
I
is
don't.
Pretty much just 3 racks with no tech versus a Zerg that's about to be on Hive tech.
I think this is going to be a backstab move. About 11 muta with the 2 groups of Zergling will go for the backstab, and Shine is just gonna go for the backstab here, and those Marine Medic needs to be on a great location to hold up. But now look at those muta micro, 1 shot 2 kill every single shot. Another nice micro picking up those Marine, and Marines are very dangerously low count.
Yeah, it's over, man. The natural's been breached. All the Marines died. All the SCVs are dying. Command center could get focused down if he just circled the command center with his Lings and mutas. Barracks is turning around. I mean, he's here to save the base, but like I said, factory, I don't even know if it's done yet. Okay, well, Shine bled off a lot of units right there, but Hive should be done now. Defiler Mound should be coming.
Yeah, I mean, Shine with this a great amount of damage that he has done, he just instantly did SD button to make tons of drone here. And now he will be putting down the evolution chamber, probably the Defiler Mound, maybe including the night. Okay, maybe, yeah, he does not have the third expansion, so he won't be adding the Nidus Canal yet. But double evolution chamber are going up.
Well, actually, Shine didn't transition this very well at all. Like, he's just now taking his third base. There's no Defiler Mound. He's going double evolution chamber, which is good, but Defilers, in my opinion, are the most insane unit. I feel like he needs that more than double Evo, but he plays Zerg and I don't, so we'll see what he wants to do with this. He's got 6 Hydras out. Maybe he's trying to go for a killing blow?
I'm scared when the command center is that low HP, because what if Shine makes a single queen and just Mutilas are just soaking up the Marine shot, and then put that queen inside of the command center and make it turns into an infested command center?
Yeah, you know, every time I have a low command center like this, I think the same thing, but I've yet to run into somebody that actually does it. So I would love to see it this game, but just nobody does it. So I don't think he's going to get punished for not repairing here. We don't see a queen out on the map, and it looks like this is Shine's game plan. Is he did just want to build a ton of lurkers, try and go for a killing move. He's got like 7 lurkers, 10 lings, 5 mutas.
Yeah, this is scary.
This is a lot of stuff from Zerg right now. The Marine spots the burrow, which is a key scout right there, because now he's not going to run to hold position lurkers. But lings and lurkers coming in from out of sight are able to burrow, but doesn't get any connections. Macro hatch coming down. Third base is up and running now for Shine, so it's going to be a big swell of income for him.
Yeah, finally getting that factory floated center of the map to see where the army is coming from. But now these number of lurkers are just looking scary. I mean, now Defiler is coming. That means the defiler, the consume upgrades are almost done. And whenever that defiler arrives to near to his lurker, he will be start consuming the Zerg. And I wonder what can Barracks do?
I don't think he can do anything. He has no irradiate. The defiler has snuck around to the left side. I love how Shine is showing that, hey, dude, there's some units right here. Pay attention to this spot. But we actually know that the real danger is sharking on the left side. But Barracks somehow not falling for the bait. He's posturing back and forth, top to bottom, and he's waiting to find this small... Oh, looks like Shine may have finally drew his attention to top middle. Here he comes through the bottom side.
Yeah, these 3 lurkers with the single defiler. M&Ms are gonna be out of position, and lurkers are going to be getting inside. Okay, 1 orange cloud.
Yeah, he got the defiler, and it is only 1 cloud, like you said. I mean, this is manageable for Terran. If it's only 1, I mean, I realize he's losing his natural right now, right? So he's not mining, and Zerg's on 3 base, but this is still, I mean, I guess playable, but more Zerg streaming across the map, more lurkers, another defiler coming in too.
I don't know what those buildings are at the 12 o'clock. I think those are like massive hatchery being placed at there. I would like to see if the spectator ever shows, but this is just not looking great. I mean, defilers are coming, throwing some Dark Swarm, another Dark Swarm once again, and 1-1 upgrade is done for Shine.
Yep, 1-1's done. Orange Cloud is done. The vessel got killed, so he has no irradiate. There's absolutely no answer to this anymore. It doesn't have energy, and this looks like it's going to be the end of Barracks' tournament. He looked so good all day long, but the forward pull catches him, and now he gets caught way out of position with his Marines versus those mutas earlier, and now he's got Orange Cloud plus lurkers on his doorstep, and this is going to be it. Shine is going to be moving on in 2nd place. What an amazing day for Shine. He played so well versus Terran today, and he is going to be moving on along with Light.
Unfortunate play from Barracks, I have to say, because he had the game. He had that ARAX with the single Marine popped out. If he only put that single bunker at the main base, then that would have been a so much better solution for him to defend. But I guess offline stage is making players to make a wrong decision making here, and Shine is going to be taking down that single vessel.
Yeah, with that vessel going down, that's pretty much the only hope for Barracks. Well, I guess this is technically his only hope. It's 8 Marines, 3 medics, and a Dream versus 6 or 7 hatch. That's a lot of length with upgrades. So this is it. GG any moment now. Barracks, he put on a good show, but unfortunately, again, the round of 8 is going to elude him.
Nicely picking up that vessel, and these lurker containers just looking strong. And yeah, Barracks know he lost the game. He's very desperate. He really wanted to. He had a chance to make it into round of 8. He's very upset of today's performance. That oh my god!
Oh, there it is. That's
oh no! Yeah, the GG timing is off. So now Shine is showing some performance here. Hey, I'm gonna be taking away your command center and making the infested turn.
Yeah, if I was Barracks, I would not be happy about this. But hey, man, the writing's on the wall. I realize it's his tournament life at stake, so he wants to try and make something happen. But unfortunately, there's just no way it can work. He's gonna go for a double drop. 1 already loaded. There it is. GG and Shine. Look at that cheeky smile. He knows he got lucky to make it into the round of 8.
Yeah, the GG timing was totally off. So of course Shine knows, and both of the players know he won the game. Both of the players. Yeah, Shine is doing some ceremony with the index finger pointing up. Hey, I made it in.
Yeah, his weakest matchup, Zerg versus Terran. What was it, 25% win rate? But today, I mean, he played fantastic versus Light. Like, he should have beat Light 2-0, right? Like, he should have made it out in first place.
Yeah, conceptually he won.
Yeah, conceptually he won. I am happy to see that he makes it out, because it's always disappointing to see somebody so close to winning a game that he should have won and then ends up being eliminated. So I am happy that we got a Zerg out, especially Shine.
We are going into this interview soon, and it looks like cameraman is setting up. Yeah, that left guy, the cameraman, is backing up. Okay, yeah.
ASL Season14.
So this is that was the last game of the ASL Season 14 Round of 16 Group 8. The second player who will be advancing into Round of 8, he will be Shine. Congratulations. And it's been a long time for you. You got second place in Season 3, I believe. And you weren't able to make it into Round of 8 for almost more than 5 years. How do you feel? And Shine is saying that if he ever takes down the first Eminem really well, then he can actually go for the backstab, but he did not have that sync, links did not sync that well, so he wasn't able to go for the backstab. But it looks like he has some mental issue when he lost the game against Barracks from game number 1, so he wanted to keep up, and he managed to keep up. Well, worked out well. You showed versus Mong that you showed like you were about to go for the lurker drop, but you didn't go for the lurker drop, and you went for the +2 armor upgrade really fast. And how did you prepare of this strategy? So Shine is saying that a lot of players remember him, that he really loves to go for the drop play all the time, so he wanted to do some mind game against Mong, that he wanted to get the overlord speed into hive tech transition to lie to him, and that kind of worked out well for him. So you played against Light in game number 1. That Light went for 1-on-1 strategy. And what made you to decide to go for Mira Zerging all in? And Shine is saying that the 1-on-1 strategy against 3 hatchery, there's a 1 point for Zerg player that can go for the back. One strong timing attack, that would be the Zergling Mira. Ignoring that first irradiate and ending the game there, but it kind of worked out well. So game number 2, you okay, so he's saying about the game number 2 against Light, he almost ended the game with the Guardian, Hydra, and with the Defiler also came to use the Darkstorm, but he's saying that he accidentally made that Defiler decision making, like backing off, and then somehow it got killed and he wasn't able to finish the game. After he took a look at the replay, if he actually moved up, then he could have won. So Shine is saying something about this Zerg versus Terran matchup, that lots of Terran players are kind of familiar with the map Allegro, Largo, like those high ground stuff, and Shine is saying something about the high ground lurker with the +1 carapace does help him a lot well. So he kind of wanted to have that concept play style. So from the pre-interview, you're saying that you constantly improving of your TVZ matchup. He's kind of lacking with the Defiler macro play style, but kind of worked out well of this ASL performance of his Defiler play, so he kind of satisfied with his Defiler play, and he still wants to improve on his hive tech play style.
예선 24강 16강은 계속 이제 다음 라운드 진출하는 게 목표였었는데
So he's saying about the ASL qualifier, round of 24 and round of 16, and now since he made it into this elimination bracket of this round of 8, so he's kind of happy about it. He really wants to play well for the next week, next 2 weeks. Any last word to your fans? There's lots of fans has been waiting for him to make it in the round of 8. Thank you for waiting for him and rooting for him. And there's also Boss 4 teammates came to this studio rooting for his game. He's glad to see them.
새로운 대학에서 좀 좋은 기운을 많이
He
받기도 하고 물씬
was in
이제 감스트 이사장님이 뒤에서 많이 챙겨주시고
Yomseok University, YSU, but recently that university team got disbanded, so he recently joined Bosford. He kind of have some great feeling, lots of great luck being in that team, and he really wants to see one of the Bosford teammates winning the ASL champ title of this season 14. So we are looking forward to see you how well you're going to be played in the round of 8 for the next 2 weeks, and see you guys. See you next time. And that was the interview with Shine, and it's glad to see him make it into round of 8.
Yeah, he played well today. We get the rundown. Light took down Barracks, then Shine took down Mong, then Light barely beating Shine 2-1. Barracks taking down Mong, and then again Shine. Well, Barracks should have won there conceptually, right, if he built the bunker in his main, but Shine gets the victory there 2-1, so he moves out in second place. He should be feeling good about that. But unfortunately for him, even though his best matchups are Zerg versus Zerg and Zerg versus Protoss, there's almost no Terrans left. These are the last two remaining, Sock and Rush. And Group B, C, and D are mega stacked. They are insanely stacked. So it doesn't even matter who comes out for as an opponent for Shine. He's going to have a really, really tough opponent, even if he is great versus Protoss and Zerg.
That's a nice lineup, seeing Bisu, Sock, Rush, and Best. And we know Socks is one of the players who kind of start off that strategy where you rush for +2 weapon upgrade really, really fast in Terran versus Protoss, like long time ago. Because I know, like back in the day, lots of Terran players really love to go for something like 3 tank pressure, or maybe 3 base into armory, really, really late armory, and you get that 2-1 upgrade finish at the 14 to 15 minute mark of the game. But Sock never played like that. He really, really loves to rush for +2 weapon upgrade, and he's kind of like the innovator of that strategy.
Well, Sock seems to always have his own style, right? Like he innovated 1-1-1, a long time ago, and then he talked about how he's the only one that plays like Tank Wraith and Terran versus Terran, and he was very successful with it. So it would be nice to see his style of play, Terran versus Protoss, because we know we're going to see standard play from Rush, because Rush is all about standard. And that's it for us today, guys. We'll be back tomorrow with Group B. We've got 2 Terrans, 2 Protoss. Lineup is super stacked. Group C and D, no slouch either. So definitely tune in. It's going to be exciting. And me and Scan, we will see you there.